FYF Sports. My voice went out, yeah. My voice is dead from this morning. Nah, I'm just joking. FYF Sports, man. It's Lamont. We back. Man, we got some news to talk about, man. 2020 draft, LaMelo Ball. They slandering his name out there. Every time I look up, they put more slander on this man's name. What more can this man do? What more can he do, man? I mean, the man bypassed high school. He bypassed college, went to prep school, dominated, went overseas, was one of the best players in that league, played against pros, had pros on his team. Even the pros on that team said he was a great player. I mean, and people still put salt on his name. I think we look at when we evaluate prospects. I think NBA scouts and NBA teams when they evaluate prospects, they don't look at the points per game. They don't be looking at the stuff that we look at because they know when you put these guys in an NBA game, they're also going to be surrounded with NBA players. So the outcomes and the results are usually going to be different. So when you're passing to a scrub when you're passing the ball to a scrub who barely made his college team in another league and he might miss the layup, when you're passing it to somebody like that in the NBA, he's going to make it. I mean, the quality of players is a little different. The quality of players around you is going to be different. So they have to forecast what you can do with better talent around you. They cannot judge you based off what you do with bad talent around you. All right, this is why we see teams miss on guys like Markelle Fultz. You know, Markelle Fultz was a dud. He played with a lot of bums. He played big around a lot of bums. He played in a bum conference. He looked better than what he was. LaMelo actually put himself out there, played against tougher competition. All right. We're going to drop this link, man. I know y'all want to cook. All right, we got 20 in the chat, man. I'd be wanting to see that thing jump up to 100, 200 early, man. Y'all been spoiling me with the views on the live streams lately, so hold on, man. Let's drop this link, man, because I see y'all ready to cook today. But I really want to touch on LaMelo Ball today. What's going on? Is it because of Lonzo? Is it because Lonzo didn't pan out? I think the youngest brother is usually always the nicest. He can watch the shortcomings and failures of everybody else ahead of him, and he usually has the easiest road to success. Drop that link in the chat for you guys. There it is right there. Again, new faces are always welcome. Or whoever you are, you hop in the chat. I haven't seen you in. I need to see new faces in this chat. On Orthodox, man, y'all jump in this chat as soon as y'all can. Man. Everybody is welcome, man. As long as you don't say nothing crazy, you won't get called out for a live debate. All right, if that's what you're worried about. If you're worried about the smoke from a live debate, again, just stay on point or get your Google ready, man. Make sure you're saying factual stuff. All right, hold on. Let me get True the King in here. He's the first one in here today, man. Appreciate you for jumping in, True the King. How you been today?
Yo. What up, Lamont?
What's good, man?
What up, Lou?
Lou,
What's up, man?
What y'all got on this LaMelo Ball, man?
I don't know. I feel it's just hate at this point, man. It's hate, man. He don't got like only thing Jan really got work on. You got question is, because him becoming a better defender, which I think that's not that gonna be that. It's not gonna be hard for him to do. Cause look at his brother. I mean, he be around his brother all the time, Lonzo, and he plays defense. He's not, and in his scoring efficiency. But everything else, he has promise. You know what I mean? He can shoot the ball. He can shoot the three. He's a 6'7", 6'8" point guard that got vision. So I don't understand. You know what I mean? Like, come on, I can sit here and you can nitpick everybody else in this draft. Like, do the same exact thing. And then who else in the somebody in the comment section said he played. Yeah. Said he played in the trash league. First,
no, he didn't.
That's like, ain't that like a top 10 league in the world?
So like a top 3 league in the world.
Top three, the Australian league. So what are you talking about? Shut your channel down, yeah. Shut your channel down, man. Like, come on now. Like, I ain't know they were that high, but I know they were still one of the best in the world. Shoot.
I mean, on that team, There were former NBA players on his team. Look at Aaron Brooks.
There's players in Australia that's playing the league right now. So how are you saying that? That don't even make any sense. Like Australians can ball, man.
Yeah, that's one of the top leagues in the world, man. That's not a slouch league. You can't just go over there.
Yeah, that's an underrated basketball like place. They love basketball over there, man.
Mm-hmm. You look at their roster now. They got, I mean, that team he just left. They still got Aaron Brooks. That's a former guard for the Houston Rockets. He was pretty solid. Right. They got Billy Preston. He was great in college. Just didn't really get an opportunity in the NBA. I mean, so they got. Bogut. Yeah, they had Bogut. I don't think they have Bogut going into this year, but they did have. They got talent over there. So he
was starting, and he was rookie of the year over there. Come on, man.
And the funny thing is, nobody really knocks R.J. Hampton. He's considered a top prospect for going over there playing in Australia either. He just didn't make as much of a splash. He had really he had a down season, and he's still considered a top prospect in this draft. Again, some of the stuff that we look at that make that it's not what NBA scouts are looking at. If we looking at Devin Booker, y'all, like if we look at a guard like Devin Booker in Kentucky, like if you just went off his numbers alone, then he wouldn't even have got drafted in the second round in Kentucky. Right. And that's the thing. Like in Kentucky, I think he maybe averaged 10 points a game. I think he might only average 9. But he still went in the lottery. They're looking at stuff that we don't see. They're looking at other intangibles that make them great players. Hold on, let's get see.
You want to know why Devin Booker didn't average a whole lot of points? Because that team was like deep.
Yeah, he was a 6-man. He was a 6-man. I mean,
Calipari had so many guys on that team. He couldn't play them like a certain amount of minutes because they were so deep.
Right.
I think that was the team that went like 39-1.
Right.
If you look at how they used him, he was only a shooter at Kentucky. They didn't have him handling the ball, going, taking people off the bounce. He was just purely a 3-point shooter. Like nobody knew he had all this other stuff in his bag.
People were mad because he wasn't starting. They were starting those Twins at the time because everybody knew that he was a better player than the Twins they had at Kentucky.
Oh yeah, the Twins from Texas. Whatever happened to them?
They didn't make it.
Yeah, they didn't make it. They didn't pan out.
Even I knew they was not. The one brother was a better shooter than the other brother. They didn't pan out.
That's facts.
And they blame Calipari for that.
Yeah, we gotta. I just think, man. If you look at the top prospects in this draft, it's only maybe like 1 or 2 players that you can throw on any team and can start and be effective.
Now, I saw a couple of things you had him going to the Warriors. If you go to the Warriors, you telling me working with Klay Thompson and Steph Curry ain't gonna make him a better shooter and a better ball handler? That's gonna be dangerous.
Here's the thing, y'all. Hold on. You got to understand this, y'all. Y'all got to understand this. If the Warriors, I don't think they will. The Warriors draft him. They're not bringing him in to shoot the ball. They're gonna surround him with shooters and allow him to be a playmaker. Everybody keeps talking about he can't shoot. He's gonna get better shooting the ball, but teams are not drafting him because he can shoot. They're drafting him because he's going to be one of the best, most electrifying playmakers in the league. So it's not like that's just why the NBA is 5 players. It's 5 players on the court for a reason.
I'm just saying this: you working with Klay Thompson, and Steph Curry, and your knockdown shooting. I'm pretty sure in
like 6'8", he's 6'7", 6'8" point guard, man. Like you can't
Klay Thompson, like what 6'8", 6'7",
6'7".
Lamar, what you just said was facts. They're not bringing that nigga there to shoot if they get him. But then they surrounded by Klay and Steph. They're going to be nice, bro. But they not getting him, though. That's just wishful thinking. They not getting him. Mm-hmm. Hey, first of all, salute Lamont, True, whoever all on here, man. I don't know. Hey, Lamont, man, I'm going to start calling you Sherlock Holmes, man. I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to start calling you Sherlock Holmes, man.
Labatt Lane.
Oh, man, y'all silly.
I'm gonna leave it alone, man. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Hey, True, man. Too bad you got work.
Hey, True. That nigga Sherlock Holmes. That nigga went.
Oh man.
Yeah,
I mean,
I gotta try crumpets, man. I gotta try some crumpets. Them crumpets.
oh man. oh man. Yeah, that
Hey,
was
Lamont,
yo.
tell me it ain't so, man. Tell me it ain't so, bro.
I mean, we gonna chop it up on that towards the end of the show. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I can't manipulate the facts. I just present the facts. So that's all. What up, Smooth Talk and Kenneth Wright, man? If y'all see that link, hit the link. Hop in the chat, man. We got some NBA draft talk to talk about today. Atlantean, I don't think you've been in our chat yet, man. Hop in if you got time. I know some of you guys at work. I know we got 800 people in here right now. Some of you guys from Facebook are at work. You at home. You got busy lives. So again, just hit the like button if you can and support the channel. We appreciate that.
Here's the thing, Lonzo and Melo would never was necessarily go-to scorers anyway, even when they were in high school in Chino.
Hey, true. That's not true, bro. Melo always been a scorer, bro.
I'm saying that's not necessarily your strong. He had to, but that's not necessarily you could tell even at that time his strength was passing and facilitating. Even when Lonzo and LiAngelo was there, he was still being a facilitator.
Right.
Now look, y'all, you got to think, man. On the high school level, everybody's a scorer.
Right.
College level, some guys are scorers, but you still haven't really identified your true role, especially if you're going into the league. When you get to the league, that's going to really determine if you're a scorer or not. So
really, Lamont, they want him to come in and average 30 points right away. Because if he don't, they're gonna call him a bust.
That's not him. He's not gonna do that. He can win Rookie of the Year.
He's not doing that.
He's not.
Most I can see him average 20 points a game.
But they're making it seem like if he don't come in average or half points,
that's solid. 20 points a game.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. That's I'm saying that's what Magic Johnson did. I'm trying a great passer. The most he can go average 20, 22 points.
Here's the problem though. If LaMelo has to score 20 points a game for you on your roster, then you got other problems because he's your best playmaker. So if you're asking him to do that, then your roster needs to get filled out a little bit better because you're taking away from what he does best. And I think that's what we got to look at right there. I want to see him go on a team. You should I can see him playing next to a RJ Barrett. He can make RJ Barrett a better scorer with his playmaking. He can make all those guys better.
Because I think RJ Barrett can't score like our niggas thought. He wasn't ready like our people thought. That's true, Lamont. And he would. I forgot all about RJ. But he would need. He do the point guard like that. LaMelo would open things up for him. That's true. I mean, LaMelo gonna be a good pro. I don't see what people. I don't see what they don't see. LaMelo is gonna be good. His style of play, true, it fit for the league, bro. I don't see how people don't see it. The nigga, he's a 6'8" point guard naturally.
And he aggressive. Even though he's not
he ain't like Lonzo. He like Lonzo. That's right, true. You right about that.
He's aggressive. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I can see him not be a consistent scorer for every season. You know what I mean? But he can act his size advantage is gonna give him opportunities just because he's 6'8". You know what I mean? So I mean, if he you say it's not he's not he's an NBA player, man. He's been working. I mean, if he fill up get his size up, get his strength up, man.
Hey, True to Ken, I got a question for you, bro. Who do you think was the better player going into the league, LaMelo or Lonzo?
LaMelo. It's always been LaMelo.
Think
so?
LaMelo,
if you look at that, if you look at you look at Chino Hills, LaMelo always had, he's gonna be the best ball brother.
Yeah.
It's always been the sentiment of that.
Yeah. That's true.
Lonzo may be more. May have a higher IQ, but as of this talent wise, I mean LaMelo got the most talent out of all the ball brothers.
That's facts right there. I mean,
so what type of point guard do y'all want to be? A Rondo type of point guard?
Somebody has some real bad background noise. It's making it hard to hear. Who has that background noise, y'all?
Take it, see who.
All right, see here. Try to take care of that background noise because it's kind of affecting the sound over here. But I mean, what teams y'all think he could fit best on immediately? Instant impact. It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot of teams.
But we got what we got to try to do is we got to try to look at the most realistic possibilities. Obviously, the Timberwolves and Warriors, anybody in the top 3 is realistic. But then there's also a few teams that can make trades.
Even a lottery. The Suns can use them.
Suns can really use them.
The Celtics can use them.
Well, if Houston really trying to blow up their team, I say he probably fit on Houston.
But what they gotta give up a lot for, like, they only got. I mean, we talking about like people are getting like that lottery. For teams that's in that lottery, I mean, he probably fit everybody in that lottery for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can fit. I still fit well. So it's gonna be interesting. I don't know. It's I don't know, man. People try. I think a lot of people try to get him, man. To tell you the truth, I think people try to be slick behind the scenes, man. I see some like Marcus Smart trade for the second pick or something like that. I don't know.
Marcus Smart.
I seen something like that.
What up, Iron Bite?
It was good, man. Hey,
they were asking trade your boy Marcus Smart for him.
I feel like teams are scaring off. They scared to draft LaMelo because they look at his efficiency in the EuroLeague, right? And they know the NBA is only going to get harder. I mean, granted, he's a rookie. Like, he's still young. He can get better. But they see those shooting splits and they like, whoa, that kind of backs them off. And then you got to think, LaMelo's jump shot, like his shooting mechanic is not up there. It's like he pushes the shot. You know how when we were younger and we didn't have that strength, we had to push the shot. So they look at, especially Lonzo's shot, how he had to reconstruct it when he got to the league because of shooting mechanics. They probably thinking it's going to be the same way for LaMelo. So that kind of
but it's not as bad as Lonzo's though.
I mean,
I just don't think his shot. I don't think teams care.
Lonzo was shooting 40-something% in college from threes. I mean, granted the line was shorter, but you know what I'm saying. LaMelo shooting splits is scary, man. But
I don't think teams care.
I don't think here's the thing, man. Listen, man, we think Brandon Jennings be a lottery pick, and he played bad in Italy and all that stuff, and nobody really cared. Only criticism he got was playing overseas. The fact of playing overseas, but the fact that he was just Brandon Jennings, people still valued him a lot. So he wasn't he was never really an efficient player. So why? That's what I'm saying. Why the rules now got applied to LaMelo? I don't understand that. Like I don't like.
What pick was on Brandon Jennings?
A lot, like 15th, 13th pick, something like that.
We talking about LaMelo. We talking about top 5 pick over here.
I mean, hey, Brandon. They thought Brandon Jennings. I mean, they still said Brandon still was one of the best in that draft, regardless though how you got picked.
Hey, but the positive is LaMelo's a 6'7" point guard. You know what I'm saying? A 6'8" or 6'7" point guard. That's a lot of teams gonna look at that too. You know they're gonna love that.
Exactly. How many 6'7" point guards in the NBA? It's not like, come on. And he's a pass first guy. And the vision he has. He's already gonna be one of the best passers in the NBA. So it's like you got that in line, and you 6'7".
Hey, but honestly, I think Edwards might be the number 1 pick, and he had the LeBron James push too. LeBron and AD, I believe, was watching him work out yesterday.
I don't know.
They push him. Yeah.
Hey, Cuba. I heard something about that. I've been hearing little tidbits about that, but I don't know how true it is. I don't think Orlando. I think they'd be crazy to give Vucevic up, but if Golden State can get their hands on a guy like that, oh man, I
see that. But Lamont though, low key Lamont, I see that. I can see that happening.
I can see it happening too, especially
because they got Mo Bamba. They got Mo Bamba, so they got John Isaac. He coming back.
Hey,
he's out.
I do not see that.
He out, but I'm just telling you, for the future of that team, they get rid of Eric Gordon. I don't know they keep Eric Fournier or not.
Hey, but I think about it this way: and LaMelo and Markelle Fultz backcourt though. I don't know.
Well, Markel Fultz is coming off the bench, and then DJ Augustine's a free agent. He's not coming back probably.
Yeah, Markel Fultz could play the 2 anyway though. So even if that's the case, I mean, if Markel Fultz plays, next year he could become better. He was, you know what I mean?
They need a point guard. Yeah. They need a point guard bad, and they I know they want to get away from that traditional big style of ball that Vucevic is playing. It's not really going to work with the team they have built around him, especially with Isaac going down for the year.
But the thing about the Warriors though, so if he went to the Warriors though, it's like he literally had to change his whole like he literally had to. I don't know.
Who, Vucevic?
You got to change his whole game though.
I don't think he would have to change anything.
It'd be like he'll be a DeMarcus Cousins role.
No.
Hey, you do know Vujicic could shoot, right? True.
DeMarcus Cousins can shoot too. He'd be like
he can't shoot. He can't shoot like Vucevic.
Yeah, why does he have to change his role? You do know he could
play
in the post.
He would fit perfect with that team, and he can run up the court. He can move. He can more mobile than DeMarcus.
Yeah, and y'all seen what he did to Brook Lopez?
And a better defender than DeMarcus.
I'm just talking about this off like the alt like he would be basically playing defense though. I'm just saying like you probably.
I don't know. His scoring would go down, but I think he would still be just as effective. I mean, when you get good players, everybody's stats gonna get affected. I think it's just how you get your stats in. So I think he will
flourish in that.
Be honest with you, I think the Warriors. Yeah, but I think the Warriors. Who do they have to give up Wiggins for that though too?
They will probably have to give up Wiggins to make the money work. And I know they're looking for a 3 because Isaac went down for the year. So I know they're looking for a 3 and a point guard. So if they can use that pick to get LaMelo and get Wiggins, they fill 2 holes.
And Lamont, if they get rid of Wiggins, they're gonna need another wing, and they could pick up Kelly Oubre. They've been looking at him too.
Yeah, I know they've been looking at Oubre, but see, Oubre's looking to get paid. But I think they can pay Oubre with that. See, nobody knows this, but the Warriors just got granted $18 million trade exception when they had to get rid of Andre Iguodala last year. So they got an extra $18 million to play with.
But you think Oubre? I think Oubre gonna get more. I think Oubre want more than 18 mil though.
18 mil a year? You think Oubre get more than 18 mil a year?
He don't deserve more than 18, bro. He do not deserve more.
I'm trying. Listen, man.
Hey,
I don't know if somebody would pay him that. Somebody will pay him 20 mil a year.
But Drew King, what they can do is he can. The first couple of years of your contract is not the heaviest. Right. They might load it on the back end. That first year might be 18 mil, but they might load the back end up. Yeah, like 22, 25
They could do that, but that's what I'm saying. If you can't, like, they need a win. Like, the only way one thing we do know about the Warriors is they needed that wing. That wing spot is very, very important, and how they win and how they can compete. The Harrison Barnes, the Iguodala, to Kevin Durant. You know what I mean?
Wiggins. They still got Wiggins. We gotta.
No, I'm saying that they did that Vorch.
The trade.
Trade. They had to give out Wiggins.
Right.
So
honestly, giving 18 mil to Kelly Oubre, that's a mistake. I'd rather give it to Jeremy Grant.
Oh, I would give it to Oubre over Grant.
You gotta give it to Oubre.
Wow.
Yeah, I would give it to Oubre. I mean, Oubre is just more versatile. He can do more. I think he can do more than Grant.
If Grant was a consistent 3-point shooter, then Grant
could shoot though.
Not like Oubre though.
Not like Oubre.
Yeah, he may get better. He may get like if he was a better shooter, then he would fit perfectly with the Warriors. That'd be excellent. You know what I mean? The guy can
play defense.
Yeah, he will fit very, very perfect.
Oubre's a competitor.
Oubre could play defense too, but Grant defense.
I like the way he competes.
Yeah, Oubre nice, man.
Y'all niggas tripping. Oubre nice, nigga. Y'all niggas tripping.
Yeah, Grant nice too, though, man.
He says Montrezl and Lou for LaMelo. That's not happening. They're both
Montrezl and Lou. Man, listen, dog. Come on, that's first of all, you giving way too much. Like, come on, like that don't even
way too much. That's
like, come on, yo. Hey, you a Clipper fan, LeBron, man? Like, come on, man. You just didn't do something.
That's not. No. I mean, that kind of is, but I don't think
that's kind of too much, though.
I think that's not enough for LaMelo. That's not enough for LaMelo.
I'll take LaMelo on the Clippers any day. They can make that happen.
No, I'm saying because Montrezl on the Warriors.
Hey, I'll take Lonzo.
Montrezl don't even fit on the Warriors, low key. That'd be horrible. Nobody doing that. Like, come on.
Yeah, Montrezl. Yeah, I wouldn't even like him there. Yeah,
Oh,
he would never.
he gonna get buckets, but it's like defensively, like that's not He's gonna be a lot. Like you gonna put.
Yeah,
He gonna be playing. He
Montrez
gonna
and
play. He gonna
Draymond,
be.
bro.
He gonna
Montrez
no.
and
He gonna
Draymond. That's too
cause
undersized.
Montrez gonna be playing power forward, and he gonna get cooked. Whoever that forward
I'm
position
still
is.
thinking the Warriors need a rebounding bed that's gonna get them extra shots.
Now they really just need a
Vucevic.
shot. They right, yeah. They need is really somebody that can just. They need a rim protector for real. They need somebody who can protect the rim. There's people that they could get.
They
It's
got. I
out
mean, they
there.
got some bigs on the like. We forget about. They got
Yeah,
Marquise Chris still. He's not bad. He was actually nice last year.
Yeah. Or they may keep him.
They
Yeah,
still
talking
got
about Golden
Looney.
State.
Or fill the bench out. They may
They-
just worry about to fill the bench out for
They still have Looney too, I believe.
Hey, Lamont, do you still hear that background noise?
Nah, I don't hear it. It's good now.
All right.
Appreciate that. But yeah.
Yeah, I was driving.
Hey, you heard what the Edwards dude said? They asked him what player does he compare himself to? He said he think of himself as a D-Wade type player, and he could see himself having a better career than Wade. I'm like, whoa.
Who said that?
Edwards, I forget his first name.
Hey yo.
That man saying he gonna be the third greatest shooting guard ever, or he gonna be the
Hold
second
up,
greatest?
man. Hold up.
Hey, you can't blame him though. He got.
Let me ask you.
Hold up. That's true. You can't.
Hold up. What did he ever won in any level of basketball, Anthony Edwards?
Hey, how long, True? Hey, Lamont, how long you gonna be on, bro? I just got in here. I'm finna get with my people right now.
2-3 hours when we get up out of here.
All right, I got the link. I'll be back.
All right.
Didn't he go, Georgia?
Hey man, make sure y'all hit the link, man. If y'all haven't been in the chat, man, Real Facts TV, Designs Are Us, Kobe James, man, y'all hit that link, man. Jump in the chat, man. I want to see some new faces today.
Georgia, right? Because
like my thing is, what did he want? What did Edwards ever won at any level to talk like that though? Like I understand he's a solid player, but like that's the reason why he like his
stock dropped. He probably was talking cash shit in the interviews.
His stock is dropping because he's not a winner.
He haven't won nothing. No Boys and Girls Club. That man never. That man never won no Boys and Girls Club League. No YMCA.
That don't mean that in college. That don't mean nothing because one good player can turn around a program in one season. We see that all the time. We see that all the time. Damian Lillard took Weber State to the tournament. CJ took his school to the tournament.
And Stephen Curry too. Davidson.
Right. We didn't see Anthony Edwards do because of everything what happened.
Jimmy Fredette took his team to the tournament. One by himself. Exactly. Like one player can change a college team, whole program.
No, at the time, I would say Georgia was struggling trying to get in the tournament. They had to play. They had to win some games, the SEC tournament, which they didn't play because Georgia.
Hey, Lamont not lying though, because I seen Kemba literally carry UConn.
Hold on, that was a trash UConn team too. That was Kemba by himself. UConn had some monster teams.
The only other player, I think he had Jeremy Lamb, I believe. That was about it.
And he wasn't even the real Jeremy Lamb yet. He was just promising. He wasn't even all the way Jeremy Lamb.
Did he even start?
Yo, I still can't forget about that step back, yo.
That was a nasty. Pittsburgh. I think they were playing Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it was Pitt. Yeah.
That tore every ligament in his knee, man.
You want to know why I remember?
Bro, Kemba was so cold.
That's a Kemba. That's a Kemba we need in the NBA,
I actually met Kemba at UConn one time. That's crazy.
I remember that UConn team beating Louisville in the Big East championship game. It was, if I remember right, the game went in overtime. That was when college basketball was really fun to watch back then.
Yeah,
it kind of lost its fire. Yeah, Kimba had us watching it that year.
Anthony Davis, that time with the Kentucky and all that.
Hey, but honestly, with Anthony Edwards, I see him panning out like Deion Waiters type player, man. Not no.
That's tough. I think he's better than Deion Waiters.
He don't got. I don't know. I say you going at too, Arn. Remember that comment he said.
Hey, right. Remember, Deion was what, the third or fourth pick? He was pretty nice.
I would not be surprised if Greg Anthony's son ended up being that guy in the NBA.
Cole Anthony.
Yeah, but I
He's gonna
believe
be a lot. He a lottery pick.
if your
He's
dad played
definitely
in the
gonna
NBA, you normally gonna be a decent pro. You're not gonna be great always, but you'll be a decent pro.
Yeah, but he gonna be more. I know for a fact, he gonna probably be a lottery
Like
pick.
the reason,
He's not
like
No, they got him at the bottom of the first round right now.
they got
he
North
got
Carolina.
bottom of first round now.
He was the main guy trying to do. He's the main scorer on that North Carolina team. Like,
Right. Yeah, he could sneak in that end of the lottery though. He could sneak up.
He could.
like
I've
what
seen-
what we end up coming in the league being like a Donovan Mitchell or Murray type of guy.
Man, I'll be scared. I know a lot of good certain teams. That the teams that lottery that bomb half of that lottery, man, they could use them.
Yo,
So-
and the crazy thing is, players like what is he? Anthony Edwards. Y'all consider him a guard or a wing?
Again, wing. I consider him a wing.
Okay,
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of those wings flop in the NBA, like with his skill set. I remember, even though he couldn't
Gilchrist.
Gilchrist, and the dude from Kentucky, he was just like that.
James
To
Young.
be honest with you, when Gilbert was
something
at
like that.
Kentucky, he was like a defender. He was never like a scorer type of player. He was always a good defender because where Gilbert used to be the guy at Kentucky guard the best player on the other team.
Yeah,
Every Edwards not even a good shooter either. I don't think he probably gonna play.
I can see like if he come in the league, I can see him being like your boy used to play for Miami. What's his name? Played at Duke.
Winslow.
Yeah, Winslow, a guy who.
Winslow better. I don't know, man. If the Edwards.
Nah, Winslow's a good
know.
playmaker, bro. Winslow's like
I don't know.
He's a good player. He just keeps getting injured.
Yeah, Winslow got Winslow's got like a lot. Like he's a very unique player.
Hey, Winslow low key, he like the anti-LeBron. You know how LeBron be giving you 27, 7 and 7. Winslow would give you like 14, 5 and 5, 6 and
He's like an
6.
Iguodala. He's like an Iguodala type of player. Like, but like Anthony Edwards, I don't know.
Will y'all be disappointed? Edward came in as a great defender, but now a great scorer.
No.
Nah.
Why would I be different? I mean, you can't be mad about that. I mean, I'll take
That's Marcus Smart. That's what Marcus Smart did.
If you great at something, I'll take it. If you great at anything in NBA, I'm gonna take it.
That's what Marcus Smart. Yeah, that's what Marcus Smart did. He was the best point guard in college.
Nah, but I could see Edwards coming in trying to prove himself and being a high volume kind of scorer.
It all depends where he goes to, though. Because
if he goes to the Knicks, to the Knicks, he'll have to be a high volume scorer.
Yeah,
right.
Like he wouldn't have no choice. We go to Minnesota, he couldn't do that with
the
Townsend.
The Knicks,
but he said he sees himself like a
and
D.
they still can't get their picks right, man. It's crazy.
I don't know.
I wonder what pick did the Knicks get anyway?
I think hold on.
Let me pull up this mock draft real quick, see what we got.
They just like, damn, they stay out of luck.
What y'all think about Nico Mannion? Anybody seen him play in college?
I mean, I think he overrated, a little bit overrated, to tell you the truth.
What?
I think he's a little bit overrated.
Wow.
I'll be honest with you. I mean, he good. I mean, I seen what he did in college. He was good in college. I can't hate on what he did in college, but I feel he's gonna be like that in the NBA.
Yo, what happened to Wiseman? I heard he
could be a role player. Like, listen, man, everybody, if you go to college, listen, man, JJ Redick even said, like, that's why I respect JJ Redick, because he was real about his game. Like, yeah, he was a great college player, one of the greatest college players of all time. He said, after they asked a question, you think he gonna do this? And I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna be a decent player. You know what I mean?
But you could tell by JJ's skill set, like the style of play, that he wasn't gonna be no superstar. You could just tell. He was just
you don't see the thing though, you don't gotta be a superstar.
No, I'm saying coming out of college, you could tell he wasn't gonna be no superstar.
What do y'all think about that European play? You think he's gonna be good in the NBA?
He's gonna be a top 5 pick in my opinion.
I think people are overhyping him.
Yeah,
I think these teams are leaking information out about him, so they gas him up, so they can trade up or something.
Yeah, he's not even like that though. I seen he just a tall for like he a rookie, another rookie.
But they have him projected to go to Chicago.
Really?
Yep.
So basically, you got he another a guard for Chicago. Shot got
No,
me,
they got him as a small forward. They got him listed as a small forward.
Who you talking about?
The Denny Badaji.
He's 6'8". How is he a guard? He's a
So
three.
basically,
I'm just saying he's gonna have guard. He's gonna have them guard responsibilities. He's gonna have them guard responsibilities.
So
he'll play the 2 or the
Chicago
3. He's not gonna play
for your boy.
He's a wing.
Man, he's
2 or
overrated.
3.
Man, that man may be overrated, man. I don't even like.
I'm not saying he good. I'm just saying you said he was a guard. I mean, he's more of a 3 than a guard than a 1 or a 2.
Hey, what y'all think about that D'Antoni?
Man, they packed the Brooklyn Nets up. They done, dog. I'm trying to tell y'all, they done, man. I don't even like.
Then they brought in Amari Stoudemire.
Hey,
they brought in 2 inexperienced coaches.
That's the Brooklyn coaches,
and then Mark
True. This is what they trying to do. They trying to run that old Phoenix.
Man, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It is not. You got 3 coaches that ain't like. Come on, man.
True the King. Hey, True the King. I like that hiring though. D'Antoni is the assistant. You know, he need I feel like Steve Nash. That's his first year. He need that comfort and D'Antoni.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. Mike D'Antoni gonna do all the plays. That's why he's there. He's gonna do all the plays.
I doubt.
That's what assistant coach. That's what assistant coaches are for.
Yep.
Help do the plays and stuff like that.
Steve Nash is gonna be the head coach, or if the guy taking advice from D'Antoni though.
Hey, but you know something though? If they're gonna run that Phoenix system, I got Kyrie winning MVP.
That's a lot.
He's gonna eat.
Hold on, we got a super chat from Ricky E245. He says the Warriors should take LaMelo if they keep the second pick. He is the future of the NBA, and Steph is 33. I didn't know Steph was 33. I thought he was a little younger. LaMelo can learn from Steph for a couple of years, and then he can take over. Yeah, I mean, I just don't think the Warriors in a developmental type mode. I think they want to bring in a player who's going. I think they're looking at short term. I think they would rather sell out to compete for championships over the next 3 years than try to build for the future.
I agree that if it was a player that you know for a fact that can help you win now, but I don't think it's hard to like. And LaMelo's great. Don't give it to him. LaMelo's great, but I'm not like there's no player in this draft period that's gonna be that good to help them win now.
I think LaMelo is.
Have the worst.
I think LaMelo is going to help a team win immediately.
I'm talking like a champ, like compete for a championship, like off the bat.
He got a lot of flaws defensively, and he's not a really good shooter.
Hold on. Y'all keep saying he's not a good shooter. Okay, but nobody talks about Wiseman's poor shooting. He shoots 29% from the 3-point line.
Wiseman is a 5 man.
I mean, not Wiseman, or even Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards shoots 29% from the 3-point line.
The reason Anthony Edwards shot bad is because of shot selection, not necessarily.
Hold on. That's definitely the reason why LaMelo shot bad. His shot selection.
Yeah, but his form is not as pure as Anthony Edwards from what I've seen.
What?
Edwards.
If I had to choose who the better shooter is, LaMelo's the way better shooter between the two.
I seen LaMelo play in high school. I went to his game. I seen him play a couple times.
He was a good shooter in high school, though. You can't.
I'm gonna tell you this. It is LaMelo. We all know this for a fact. LaMelo
He was taking a whole bunch of shots. I mean,
right, but LaMelo, we know this though. LaMelo is a winner. Anthony Edwards is not. He ain't won nothing in no type of level of basketball. At all. He ain't won no Boys Girls Club. No YMCA. He ain't won nothing.
Is that
he ain't no church league or nothing.
Is that winning? The question is that winning? Will it translate to the NBA?
Well,
that do mean something.
Teams definitely can look at that because
Anthony Davis, he didn't win nothing in high school, and look what he
did.
Yes, he did.
He won in Kentucky though.
He played.
Yeah, he definitely won a national.
I'm talking about in high. You talking about all these different levels. He didn't win nothing in high school. Anthony Davis didn't win nothing in high school. Then he went to Kentucky and won. No, he didn't. He did not win in high school.
He did win high school.
Did he win something on another level though?
Yes, but it don't make what he's talking about. Don't make sense. You talking about he never won before?
That do make sense, dog. How you
talking about high? Come on, bro. You talking about the higher? You trying to compare that to the highest level? You can't do that.
This is teams look at that. One of the biggest knocks on Mark Fultz when he came in the league was He wasn't a winner, and it's showing. Like, look at players. A lot of players who weren't winners on any level.
Let me ask you this, Lamont. Did Ben Simmons win anything at LSU? They didn't even make the tournament.
He was injured though.
It don't matter. They didn't make they had 5 stars on the team. They had a very good recruiting class that year.
No, they brought in one other good player.
But listen, though, wasn't Ben Simmons?
He wasn't a 5-star.
But wasn't Ben Simmons winning in high school though? He was.
What did he do at LSU in the SEC?
He was injured, bro.
See, now we talking about this injury. See, like,
how he gonna win if he can't play?
He was not injured.
But here's the thing. All that being said, right? Look at Ben Simmons is now. He came in his first year. They made the playoffs. Yo.
What I'm saying exactly.
But we see. But hold up. But we see what Ben Simmons did now in the NBA. Well, we ain't know about. We don't know anything about Anthony Edwards. We see Markelle Fultz not being a win.
I'm just saying.
At least Ben Simmons got his team to the tournament. Anthony Edwards, Georgia.
Yeah. The LSU did not go to the tournament that year, LeBot. LSU did not. No, they didn't. They won.
They did. Hold on, man.
They didn't.
No, they didn't go to the tournament. It
was horrible. It was one of the worst teams.
I thought they made. They went to the NIT. I think.
No, they turned down the NIT. They didn't even want to play in it.
They didn't play nothing?
Nah, they turned it down because they was embarrassed.
Who was that white dude they had on their team that was a shooter, that was making everything?
I forgot his name, but I know who you're talking about.
That dude, that's the only player I really remember with Ben Simmons.
But they had Blakeney. Remember Blakeney?
Yeah, I remember him. He played for the Bulls, though.
Yeah, he played at LSU with Ben Simmons.
So I don't think he stayed long, though. I think he left early.
No. Ben Simmons, he stayed there for about, I think, another year or two.
Blakeney, I just didn't hear much about him. LSU is like one of them dead schools.
It's not a top Division I school for basketball, at least. So yeah.
And then that coach got caught up in a scandal.
I think it was Johnny Jones. I think was their coach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he ended up getting fired.
He still got a job with LSU.
No, you talking about Wade. What's his name?
Yeah, he got caught up too.
No, that's the coach now. I'm talking. Ben Simmons didn't play under him. He played under a different coach.
But the coach now got caught up in a scandal too.
He did. Wade, I believe his name is something.
Yeah, Arizona is the recent team that got in trouble. Yeah, they didn't fire their coach.
Nah, Rick Pitino, he got in trouble. Now he coming back this year to coach in D1.
Look at Hoops Empire. Hoops Empire, man. I drop your channel link, but you gotta come on the panel and chop it up with us. God dang, you just come straight in asking to drop the link. I mean,
hey, right?
You don't even know your name.
Hey, come in here and make an impression on the people. So
man, chop it up, man. You just go, hey, man.
I'll put your channel. I mean, I don't care. You can put your channel up here. I'm gonna put it on the front screen, but at least come chop it up with us.
Hey, Truda King say he about to start dropping videos.
I just dropped the video. I dropped the introduction video today.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Hey, your mic, bro.
I just dropped the video.
Ball hog, you echoing, man. You got to cut the back speaker down or something.
Hey guys, don't forget to follow me, man. I might go live on Sunday during the Pittsburgh and Baltimore game.
Okay.
I got you. Hold on. Where's it at? Hoops Empire, man. Hit the link, man. I'm gonna put the link in the. I just put the link in the chat. Hop in here, man. You have a name like Hoops Lincoln. You don't want to talk about.
I gotta make a shirt, man. Shut your channel down, man. That shit going crazy right now, man.
I know. Yeah, you need to. Yeah, I was just thinking. I was like, you need to make that a merch line ASAP.
Shut your channel down. I gotta copyright that shit.
Yeah, go buy that website right now. Trademark it ASAP.
Channel down, man.
Y'all silly with that, but no. I don't know, man. These top drafts. This is probably gonna be one of the weirdest drafts. I think if I had one of the top 5 picks this year, I would probably try to finesse it and trade it and get more than what it's actually worth.
Yeah,
because I don't think that the top 5 is not going. It's not as spectacular as some of these other drafts have been.
It's gonna be a bunch of Michael Gilchrist in this draft. That's what I
No, we don't know, but it's the biggest mystery draft of all time.
Yeah, that's what I put it like.
Hey, honestly, I don't think this one is worse than the one with what's the dude?
No, you can't judge it. You can't.
What's that point guard? The tall point guard that won Rookie of the Year and then fall off the next year. Michael.
No,
Carter.
Come on, bro.
You can't judge it.
What are you talking? Zach LaVine was in that draft. Wiggins,
Michael Carter Williams.
Victor Oladipo.
Yeah, Oladipo is the second pick, and he's straight.
But iron though, you can't. It's not like it's really not no like because it was no tournament this year. Whatever, it's hard to really judge on who's. You know what I mean? It's hard to judge how good players is.
It really don't. If you talking about the top five, Anthony Edwards, his team wasn't even going to the tournament. So LaMelo played overseas. Denny Vader, he played overseas. So the tournament really wasn't going to be the determining factor. Anyway.
Sometimes like some of these lotteries, because they said that lottery like these.
No, the tournament would help.
Year. Not
this
year.
Would have helped the bottom guys like Devin Vassell.
You talking about?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about the whole draft. Yeah, the whole draft, and it's like that's still.
He said. Yeah, but he said the top five, so that's what that's the back end of the lottery. I'm talking about
Wiseman was out. He wouldn't have been in there. Melo wasn't here. You're right. Denny wasn't in the only Obi Toppin would have been a factor.
Yeah, that's it, really.
And Halliburton and Killian Hayes, but
that's like toward that's like 8, 9.
Yeah, that's
it's hard to judge this draft. Man.
I was tripping when I said Michael Carter Williams draft was trash. I don't know. They had Giannis in there.
Him and Oladipo was the only good players in that draft.
They had CJ McCollum too. That's not bad.
Giannis from that draft too. Giannis. It's gonna be. I say this though, whoever all the rookies they play good, it's gonna be very impressive. There's all the circumstances.
This is where the rookies have an advantage though. As soon as they get drafted, the NBA is really pushing for the league to start in December. Teams are not gonna have really much time to scout them out and see what they can do. They can really come and hit the ground running. And have a first good couple of months.
The next day after the draft.
Hold on, what'd you say?
NBA free agency the next day after the draft.
They plan on making it either a couple days after the draft ends. That's what I've been hearing. So, the draft is on the 18th. Hopefully go into free agency right after that. And from what I'm hearing is they want to start the season as soon as possible because they don't want the season to collide with the Olympics in the summer. Yeah. And that's the main thing right there because you talk about ratings dropping. That'd be a big ratings drop right there
Especially what happened. That's what happened in the World Cup last time. Man, that was embarrassing. USA team got their ass whooped. We didn't get no medal.
Hold on,
that was embarrassing.
In the Olympics?
No, I'm talking about the FIBA World Cup.
Oh, I thought the US didn't even make the last one.
Nah,
we didn't get. We made it, but we didn't get no medal.
They had. He talking about the one with Donovan Mitchell, Kuzma.
Yeah, Kemba Walker and all them. Jason Tatum. They had Marcus Smart on the team. Yeah, Marcus Smart on the team. Everybody was getting hurt.
Yeah, they got.
Remember everybody? I'm like, man, they got. That's why LeBron them talking about they coming back.
Yeah, that team was super suspect, man.
I'm like, damn. I like Marcus Smart, but you had to have Marcus Smart on the world. Like, it was a bunch of them though. It was a bunch of them role players on the team. Plumlee. I'm like, come on, dog. Like, y'all, this is like.
Hey, man, I keep telling you, true, man. Like some of these guys don't have that attitude yet to be a great basketball players yet.
Well, they had also that was like it had like almost every Celtic. It was like a lot of Celtic players on that team too. I was like, damn, man.
I keep on telling you, man, they don't get that killer instinct yet.
Man, what is killer instinct, man?
They definitely do. Tatum definitely got a killer instinct. You cannot say that.
Yeah, he was that big. Yeah, that big got killer. He had killer since he was in college, man. Like you look at his game, how Coach K was pushing that man. That man, he got it, man.
All right, we're gonna see next year.
Listen, what's the difference in killer instinct? Because I feel like he got it. The fact that his career.
Hey, you know what a killer? Hey, hold on. Let me tell you what a killer instinct is. I think most people, when they think of killer instinct, they assume like jacking up a bunch of shots, like Kobe did. That's what they could. assume is a killer.
No, that clutch shots. You got that killer instinct, like not like dog.
I don't like that clutch argument being more
Well,
clutch. Why is you in all these clutch moments?
It was times in those games where he took the wrong type of shot instead of taking the right one. Like,
hey man, listen, man.
But that's just bad shot selection, bro. That's not killer instinct.
It is what it is, man. Yeah, he hit big shot. He had big shots in his career, so I mean, it just gets tricky, man.
You talking about Jason Tatum?
It's a sidestep break.
That's a hater, man.
Tatum did have some games in the playoffs.
Hey.
He disappeared in that.
Man, y'all hating on Tatum, man. Tatum was a rookie taking his team to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Stop it. It wasn't him, bro. The Celtics been going. Yeah, they've been going to the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean,
bro, Tatum
almost
rookie year. Hey,
they went before he got. When they had Isaiah Thomas, we know this.
But listen, though, when Tatum was 20, this man, he was 20, averaging 18 in the playoffs. Going ahead,
bro, I don't want to hear
toe to toe with LeBron at some point.
We not talking. Let's talk about this past season. Them choking.
He averaged double. He averaged double. 25.
Bro, he went scoreless a whole first half.
A block is still with 5 assists a game, and y'all still hate on this man.
Ain't nobody hating.
No, we've been having the argument who's the alpha on the team.
But here's the thing: Jason Tatum is the alpha, of course. That's not even a question. Like I don't even like Jason Tatum is one of the best players in the league. Jaylen Brown wasn't even no all-star, so how he feel he's an alpha?
But hey, this might be a hot take, but I feel like if Jaylen Brown had that shot creation that Jason Tatum has,
what are you talking about, bro?
He got shot creation.
Jaylen Brown cannot 21, bro.
Listen. Jaylen Brown cannot create off the bro. What are you talking Jaylen Brown cannot create off the 3 like Tatum could. I'm saying if Jaylen Brown could do that, he would be better than Tatum, in my opinion.
He not better, bro. Stop.
I said if he could do that, he will be better than Tatum.
That's not him, bro. He's a slasher, bro.
He could shoot though. He just can't create off the 3, but he could shoot.
He can create. He can create, bro. He can.
Guys.
How you average 20 in the league without creating?
Shooter can. What's the majority? The majority of the threes that Jaylen Brown shoot isn't it off of spot ups in the corner?
That's true.
That's true, but he can shoot off the dribble off 3s. I've seen him do that.
I never seen Jaylen Brown do a side step or a step back 3 like Jason Tatum.
No, like how many? But here's the thing: how many people you see consistently do that in the NBA anyway?
Bro, my whole argument was that if he could, he will be better than Tatum.
That's not his game, bro. That's not his game.
So what are y'all trying to say, that Brown isn't as good as Tatum?
That's what he's saying.
Lamont,
Jaylen Brown is good, but he ain't good as Tatum.
Hey, Lamont, when you watch them play, right? They head to head, but the only thing that I feel like puts Tatum above is his 3-point shooting and the shot creation at the 3-point line.
No, it's not, man. I'm gonna tell you what Jaylen Brown, one of his biggest weaknesses is the fact that he can't create for others. He's not a good facilitator at all.
And Tatum can.
You ain't watched the playoffs?
He better than Brown.
He was forced to be a better playmaker.
Hey, you know what we lack. Hold on. You know what I seen from Tatum when the game was on the line? Him turning the ball over consistently.
Yeah. Hey, he had to be that playmaker.
So how could he be the playmaker if he can't even handle the ball in the clutch?
Hold on. Why are we always talking about the Boston Celtics? Man?
I don't know, man. I didn't bring him up.
Man. True the king.
I didn't bring him up. Man.
Hold on. Let's get to Nike's question here. He said if they draft LaMelo, is Looney and Marquise Chris enough, man?
No.
That way we can go right off the ball.
Hell no. They get. I'm be real with you though, man. They get their ass against the Lakers, man.
Nike, hit that link, man. Hit that link. Nike, jump in the chat if you can.
Hell no, man.
I don't think it's enough. I think those are backups. I think they need to go get a more dynamic center, a rim protector.
Hell no.
And then Looney's health. I don't know what Looney's health is going to be like.
They need to get Serge Ibaka.
Yeah, that's to me. That's not that's a supplemental move, but that's not a put you over the top.
Yo, Serge Ibaka was looking like he showed his age this year. I ain't gonna hold you.
He had moments, but then he also had moments where he looked bad too.
Yeah, he showed his age.
He had his Paul Millsap moments this year where he would just kind of disappear, show his age. Yeah,
that big got outplayed by Daniel Tice, man. Nobody want to talk about it, but
Hey, Ibaka was actually nice this year, man. His
He
3-point
was in
shot.
the regular season.
His
He was in
3-point
the regular
shot got
season.
so much better.
Hey, I thought about this, guys. Is Green a free agent? That dude you play for Houston, Green.
Gerald Green, I think he out the league, bro.
You talking
Oh,
about
you
Jeff?
talking about Jeff Green?
Yeah, is Jeff Green a free agent?
Oh, Jeff. Okay.
I don't know.
I think he's under contract one more year,
He under
but
con. He under. Yeah, he under. I think he under contract.
Cause y'all talking about the Warriors getting the wing, so you might as well try to get him because he's a decent player.
He ain't no.
Yeah,
That's
he
a
ain't
big
not,
player.
Utah let him go.
Here's the
Hey,
thing. He could come off the bench though. That he could come off the bench for him.
Utah cut him, bro. If a team wanted him, they could have grabbed him. And then Houston.
Man, he don't got
There's so many
Jeff
better
Green,
options though.
I'm talking about come off the bench. Lamont, come off the bench though. He would be good to come off the bench though.
Yeah, to come off the bench, but I'm not that's not like my first order of business to go get Jeff
of
Green.
course. Yeah. Get Jeff Green. Like, nah, man. Like,
yo,
that man was poor, man. I'm disappointed in Jeff Green career, man.
Ain't your boy a free agent now as a veteran? He's like 35 now. Played for Denver last year. I'm trying to remember his name.
Paul Millsap. Millsap. I don't know where Paul Millsap.
Paul Millsap need to retire. His only option is retirement, bro.
Nah, man. He trying. Listen, money's still out there,
somebody. Come on, sit on the bench.
Listen,
like
man.
Cosby.
It's a lot of teams. There's a lot of teams he can go to that can use him.
Because you remember when David West went to the Warriors, everybody thought he was kind of done.
Nah, he ain't David West level yet. He not David West level yet. We ain't gonna do that.
Man, Millsap looked so bad in the playoffs, bro.
Nah, he didn't. I mean, here's the thing. He'll beat the Clippers though.
He only had one good quarter. He had one good quarter. And that was
that one quarter. That one quarter. Hey, he earned his money off that quarter.
Hey, but you know the worst trade this year that I seen was when the Cavs shipped away Clarkson for Dante Exum. Oh my lord.
Yeah. Well, they had to get rid of Dante Exum.
Had to though. That wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. They had to do that though. I won't say it's bad.
Clarkson went to Utah. Clarkson went to Utah and started dropping 20 in the playoffs for them.
Yeah,
I just think he didn't want to be in Cleveland. though. That's one of the reasons.
It still wasn't enough because they blew a 3-1 lead too. We ain't forget about Donovan Mitchell.
Yo, but nobody talk about that one though. That's the funny part. Everybody act like that didn't happen.
Motherfucker was dropping 50 points and still.
Hey man, people so selective with who they
were. Gary Payton and them. We ain't forget Gary Payton. Listen, man. They get a pass, man. They don't like talk about it,
it's
man.
It's crazy, Lamont. Yo, they pick and choose, man. Nobody speak on that one, but they be on the Clippers one like crazy.
Word, man. The Sonics lost because of 8th seed back in the day, man. Nobody want to talk about that, man.
People seem to forget. Didn't Portland lose that guy for a whole year? Or what's his name? He used to play for Cleveland.
Rodney Hood.
Yeah. He was doing good before he got injured.
Man, they're gonna lose. Man, they were gonna lose in the playoffs regardless. Man, don't put nothing in the air like that, man. Motherfuckers betting money on Portland, man. That shit was disgusting. I ain't even want to talk. That shit was disgusting, man.
What's that? Oh, there.
I ain't want to talk about.
To me, I thought Portland was being selfish when they would
bet money on Portland, man. People really thought Portland had a shot in hell, man. That shit was crazy, man. Like.
Hey, you gotta admit, True, the way they were playing before the playoffs, though, the way they was fighting game after game.
Talking about Dame Dollar. That's on like. I mean, hey, man. I ain't gonna talk about Dame. No, I'm gonna leave that later, man.
They got it. Hey, I think the Blazers are in the same situation as the Boston Celtics. I think you got to trade.
They are.
You got to trade one of those.
They just older though. They have the same thing, but they just older, which is like
I think Tatum or Jaylen Brown, one of them got to go so you can diversify a little bit.
Yeah, we all know. And the funny thing is though, we all know probably that go comes to it, who that's going to be. So
it'll be Brown.
Tatum.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
they're not trading Tatum.
It's CJ McCollum. And the thing about them is the Portland is like they getting older. That's what makes them like you can't keep experimenting. You know what I mean? You gotta let it go.
It's not gonna. And the problem is they gave CJ that humongous contract. And I don't think people want to eat that contract because that thing is him and.
But one player that the Celtics might get something good for is Marcus Smart if they want to move him.
Nah, you can't move him.
He's gonna be interested.
I don't think you can move him though.
Can't move him.
If you move him, you gotta get something like like that can like okay, that makes sense.
Salute. Hold on, let's get Jack Jackson. Salute. $1.99. He said Ticket had Ball Facts and DKM on his channel. Yeah, I fuck with DKM. I'm gonna probably be collabing with him soon. Ball Facts, that's what's up. And then we got AB the Hero. What's good, man? Jack Jackson, salute. $1.99. He said Ticket had Ball Facts and DKM. Oh, we got a troll here.
Oh man, I can't hear.
AB the Hero.
What's happening? What's happening?
What's good, bro? What you got on some of this stuff that we chopping up, man?
Man, I heard y'all talking about my dude Melo. You know what I mean?
Oh, you know we gotta. I be wanting to give him his props. I like as far as the whole Ball family goes. I appreciate what they do, but with LaMelo, all of a sudden I think we hear this narrative coming out that he just might not pan out. He's overrated. He's not doing good in the workouts. I think that's just GMs and agents throwing out things to kind of shift draft positions or gas up certain draft picks or whatever. I think he's going to be great in the NBA. What you got on him?
I would say, man, from the bit of research that I've done on it, I definitely think it's cap. You know what I'm saying? And I think that from what I'm seeing is most of these articles or folks who run with that quote is all coming from the same person, right? And what I looked up is so this is USA Today. Every national media outlet in the world has quoted this one person, and if you go to his Twitter, he not retweeting none of these articles. He's distancing himself away from that quote as much as possible. He don't even interact if you try to talk to him about it. So I think that they pulled it from an interview or something that he did, and I feel like he got caught up in the moment, spit some cap out there, and like folks ran with it, and he don't want nothing to do with it.
We actually did a show on that just in general, how a lot of this stuff behind the scenes is agents and GMs just trying to push a certain narrative. And I see that happen a lot with, especially in the draft. And then we see it happen with LaMelo Ball. But what you got on his game? Like, how you think that's going to translate, regardless of where he go? Yeah. How you think it's going to translate to the league?
I think that LaMelo is transcendent talent. You know what I'm saying? I think that there are some players who get to the league and depending on what situation they're in, depicts how they'll end up doing long term, right? So you got to be in the fast offense, you got to be in the half court offense, you know what I mean? You got to be in coming off the bench, playing the right amount of minutes. I feel like he is a unique enough talent and does enough things well where it doesn't matter where you put him, he'll have some success, or he'll have enough success to be an NBA player for a long time. I think that if he gets himself in a situation where he is on a team that is his team, let's say like a Trae Young, like a Luka Doncic, I believe I'm thinking that he's all-star year one, rookie of the year, all-star. I do like the conversation though of him going to Golden State and kind of coming off maybe even coming off the bench a little bit. Or, you know what I mean, kind of taking some of the pressure off of him. I think that's what we've seen with Lonzo is he came in and they were talking like he was supposed to be a Hall of Famer, you know what I mean, his rookie season. And I think that was just might have been too much. So I feel like if he could come with a team like Golden State, take some of that pressure off, get some decent statistics, like eventually he'll turn into like what we've seen with Kawhi Leonard, where Kawhi first couple of years is like, who is this dude? Then all of a sudden he is fighting to be the top player in the league type of vibe. You know, I can see that for Melo, but I think he's talented, man.
I think with Kawhi though, it was easier for them to groom him that way because he wasn't a lottery guy. Yep, so it's easier to put a guy that's lower in the first round on the bench and say, we're going to groom you for a few years and you blow up. When you got a guy like LaMelo, everybody, the pressures that everybody expects you, just like with Lonzo, everybody expects you to come right out the gate and be that dude. And if you don't pan out to be that dude, even if you're just good or even if you're just slightly above average, you still going to get hate. We see that with Lonzo because I'm one of the few that think that Lonzo is extremely talented. He just hasn't, found his niche. It's a lot of other factors that stop him from being successful. What you got on that?
I think you're right, man. I think what makes the Golden State situation so unique, though, is that you have two Hall of Fame guards in front of you. So, like, normally you would never have a guy who be drafted that high playing for that team with those players, right? So you expect him, if I'm drafting this dude, I want him to come in right now and be the dude. with that team, that has probably never happened before, where you got 2 Hall of Fame guards, the greatest shooter ever, and maybe the top 5 greatest shooter ever or scorer ever, and you might roll in a dude, and in consensus, everybody will say that he shouldn't be starting over Steph, or he shouldn't be starting over Clay. So it takes some of the pressure off, and folks, you know what I mean? You're trying to figure out how to find him, playing at moving Clay to the small forward, like, you know what I mean? Like, none of that would make sense. So I feel like that would be the unique circumstance that would make that work for them. But like, that would be different. So like the Lakers, they were terrible when Lonzo came in. So it's your team right now. You know what I mean? We seen the second game of Lonzo's career, he go off for 29 points, and they just like rolled the ball out that game and said, go show us the most you can do. So to your Lonzo point, yeah, I think that the pressure of having to night in, night out be the face of the Lakers just kind of become too big for him at times. But I am of the belief too that he's a talented dude, man. He has a skill set that we don't see a ton in the NBA right now. So I feel like it may be confusing to a lot of coaches and to a lot of these like critics of the game, when you got Russell Westbrook giving you a triple-double, averaging 30 points, James Harden giving you a triple-double with 40 points, and then you got Lonzo giving you a more traditional triple-double and maybe impacting the game that in ways that don't show up in the box score. It's harder for the casual at times to be able to understand what that looks like and how that impacts the game. But then also, I think if you're trying to hype it, like, you want to see him go out and get 32. So even somebody who watches it wants to see more from him.
I'm gonna ask you one question too. I'm gonna ask you one question because I know only you can answer this question better than most people. Because you're one of the few people that I've come across that have actually sat down and talked with LeVar. And from how he dealt with Lonzo to how he might potentially deal with LaMelo, do you think he's gonna have that much of an impact going on LaMelo coming into the league as he did with Lonzo? Because a lot of people blame Lonzo's failures early on due to LeVar. I don't look at it like that. It's basketball. You got to go out and do your job. Do you think that's going to be a big thing going into LaMelo coming into the league, especially if he gets put on one of them teams that we know LeVar has been against?
Man, I think that this rollout for LaMelo entering the draft has been completely different than the rollout we've seen of Lonzo. So it'll affect Melo differently. Whereas right now, when at this point of the, and obviously with COVID, it's shifted everything. But a month away from the draft, LeVar Ball was damn near on every news network every day. They was doing specials about LeVar, the family. And so it was just a lot of opportunities to add an extra hype, add pressure. Folks was then antagonizing him and trying to get him to say something more and more salacious. So I think it made it more and more pressure on Lonzo, and the hype just built and built and built. I believe that the approach that they're taking this time is the let LaMelo's game speak for himself. Let LaMelo and what he has doing, like, prove the worth of it, right? He's took such a non-traditional path that if you add too much extra hype to that, then it's too mysterious, it's too unique, it's too much of a risk. So I think that it'll be different for him going this time. I think that as we've seen, LeVar's kind of chilling a bit. Obviously, I believe once the draft hits and he goes to that team, they're gonna ask him some questions, but it's not gonna be a lot of time. We're not gonna have 6 months of LeVar interviews. You're gonna have 30 days the way it's looking right now from the, you know what I mean, from the draft to the first game almost. So it's not gonna be enough time for those excuses to happen. But I think that that's also what made that report so such big news, is because if you're trying to let LaMelo's game and LaMelo stand on his own, when the report comes out that him trying to stand on his own isn't working, then it's like, all right, wait a minute, do we go back to the drawing board? But like I said, I think that it's cap, you know what I mean? And I believe that whoever said that, man, he should come out and be like, bro, you know what, I got caught up in the moment. I didn't mean to do that.
That's what's up right there. You know what I mean? Like I said, that's some good points on on the balls. We know you got a lot of insight on them. So again, it's rare that we ever get somebody in here who really speak on it with an honest approach. We can only really guess for the most part and speculate, and then we have to take what we hear with a grain of salt because we know, especially if you dealt with NBA cats, a lot of the stuff that we hear, the story then got chopped up and screwed, and it ain't the same. So, I mean, Trudy King, y'all got anything on it?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I agree with LaMelo is a different approach. Between how Alonzo roll out for Lonzo and roll out for LaMelo, definitely. I feel like LaMelo trying to be his own man, and like he saw the mistakes in the past and said, you know what, I'm not doing that. I'm not feeling that. So I feel. I mean, I think LaMelo gonna be fine, man. I mean, like I said, the stories, like I said, we talked about the stories, has all been capped and all that stuff. I think he gonna be fine. Like I don't. Like he gets that hate just because of how his brother is playing, how his brother's not playing to expectations, and his dad, which is not fair because he's his own man and he's showing that. You know what I mean? He's showing that he's his own man, and people still want to hate on him. You know what I mean? So it's like he can't win, and he's gonna deal with that his whole career. Like he could be a whole all-star. I mean, he could be a future Hall of Fame player, and he's still gonna deal with the hate. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's part of the game, you know what I mean? So it's hopefully he can be on a solid team, you know what I mean? Because like if he be on a team where it's like us already established, whatever, and you have like veteran players, that would help him even more to become a star that we think he could be. So
I think it's the city with him. I think if you put him in the right city, like New York,
that could be too. That'd be too.
I think it's the atmosphere.
I kind of wonder about something though. Say he does go to Golden State and he's gonna start winning games, winning championships. Are they gonna do him like they do Steph Curry when he started winning? Start hating on him like they
He's gonna get hate regardless though.
Yeah.
Listen, like he has LaMelo has the chance to be the face of the NBA. He has the potential. He's marketable, and all he really had to do after that is if the plays match up to that, he will be the face of the NBA. You know what I mean? So if he always gonna get hate, he always gonna get hate regardless. If he become the face of the NBA, we all know how LeBron James got the hate. Even like Michael, like he gonna get hated, man. Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, like everybody love LeBron. They got a lot of people love him. Don't get me wrong, but you got a lot of people that hate him also. This comes with the game.
Hey,
So,
AB,
like if you go to Golden State, I can see them Klay Thompson and Steph Curry working with him on his game. And by the time it's like second or third year coming to the league, he'd be like a knockdown shooter just like them.
All right, I got a question for AB. All right, AB, don't you think LaMelo's poor 3-point shooting will scare off teams? I mean, in the Australian level or wherever he plays overseas, he's attempting 6 threes and making 1, shooting 25%. Do you think that would translate? How would that translate into the NBA?
I think that it could scare off teams, right? But I feel like if you watch his game, one of the reasons why people feel like his percentage is bad is the shots that he takes, right? So I feel like if you're an NBA team and you're a player development coach and you believe in yourself, you telling yourself like we can coach him to take better shots. We can put him in the position to shoot a better shot will create maybe a higher percentage, right? He's not like one of these guys like Ben Simmons who won't shoot the 3 just because he's afraid like I can't make it. LaMelo's a dude who we know you can knock it down. We've seen him in the Illawarra. He knocked down like a game-winning 3 at one point. And so, but you also see him take just terrible shots at times. So I feel like that is what is the selling point is you get the other intangibles, the passing, he was an elite rebounder that I don't think he get enough credit for, and like some of his feel for the game. And then if you saying, yo, we're gonna put you in the system that will allow you to like have great shots, you know what I mean? And that's the Golden State thing. If he on the court with Steph and Klay, the shots are you know what I mean? Like that's what made the shit with KD so lovely is who you gonna double team, you know what I mean? So I think that's my answer to that, man. I feel like they could work around it.
What you got on this, Jay? I seen you just hopped in. What you got on this?
I think he can be really good. Just like with any rookie, it depends which place he gets drafted to. That'll really determine it, and which coach he has in his ear. If Golden State actually takes him, I'd love it because you can build off the shot selection and your shooting with the two best shooters of all time, versus going to like a New York where like you can be marketed the best, but with Tibbs as the coach and all the pressure, would that really promote the best style of play for you in the long run? I believe in his talent. I think it just determines his landing spot, determines how his future is really going to pan out to me anyway.
I like that idea. I mean, I like that concept. I mean, because one thing that I know, if anybody who's played basketball on any level, when you play on bad teams, you build bad habits. So
Exactly.
when you're playing on like that Illawarra team in Australia, they weren't a very good team. They were losing a lot. They were down big. I could see him falling into taking bad shots. Even in high school, when you're up 50, you can easily find yourself chucking up shots from 10 feet behind the 3-point line, looking crazy. It might look good for YouTube, but you'll have everybody else saying he's taking bad shots. And we even saw that when he went to Spire. They were a loaded team. They blew out everybody they played, and you can fall into that when games start to become too easy. So I think if you give them the right coaching, the right team, I think an NBA team is just going to put him in a situation where if you put him in certain situations, he can take and make the right shots. Just like AB said, that was a good point. But I think it's just going to be different when you get to the NBA level. You got to take the game a little bit more seriously. It's not going to be so free for all. It's just not that easy.
And another thing, Lamont, I don't know if anyone saw, he has changed the shot a little bit. He's been tweaking it. You can look up videos. So it kind of looks more like a set shot. It's not so much as a push no more. It kind of looks like a set shot. But I don't know if he's just playing low to the ground with the shot just to get the mechanics right before he really gets the elevation on it, or if he really switched it to a set. But he did change it up.
Yeah, I seen some workout videos where they were focusing on him getting his hips a little bit lower and taking that shot, coming up out of a chair and pulling up and trying to change it a bit. So that's the thing. And I'll say too, man, one of the things that I know about Melo is in the times that I was around, he was a lot younger, right? So he's 16, 17. And so when you're 16, 17, there's a level of immaturity that you have, right? But what I've noticed about him is when it comes to basketball, there's a different level of seriousness that he has. So I believe, and I think that if you watch his workouts post Illawarra playing on that team, because that's really one of the first times he was on a team that was trash, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Where like his ability just wasn't even good enough to make them like win per se, you know? So when they were in the JBA, I was around him too, and his team was struggling a bit, and like the playfulness of a 16-year-old who was just happy to be a professional is out the window at that point. So I imagine that if he gets into the league and the shot's not falling, like he's got the mentality where you hear the stories about the Kobe's and the folks who be in the gym for 5, 6, 7 hours working on the shot. I think that he's got that type of work ethic when it's like serious about basketball. So I feel like that would like boost his game up, as the season goes on as well.
Let me ask you, because a lot of people had this question to me too. I see this in my Facebook group a lot. What's going on with the big baller brand? You know, we see his sons, like we got LaMelo went with Puma. Lonzo obviously is probably going in another direction. I think Jello's probably the only son that's really still a part of that brand. I know the website is still rocking. I know they're still selling merchandise. And I actually recently bought some about 6 months ago, and it was great quality still. What's going on with that brand? Is it still a family brand? Because, you know, you got a lot of people out there saying that the Suns are trying to distance themselves from the fan. I don't think that's the case. What have you heard about that?
Man, I'll say half of that's true, half of it's not, right? So the brand is definitely evolving and changing, right? You do have current situation where Melo is signed to Puma, but from what I'm told, the bag is just so big that it's like it sucks for the brand, you know what I mean? But personally for him and some of the opportunities that may come off of that for him and his brothers, like it just make it worth it for him. I think that they're still moving those still merch. I think that one of the things that slowed them down, just like every other business, is this whole pandemic thing, right? So when you are in a position that they were where they're trying to kind of rebrand, figure out where they are, and then in the middle of that, when you're kind of at your lowest point, a pandemic hits that kind of sinks all ships. Like you know what I mean? It hurts you, it hits you a little bit more. I think that they are kind of blessed and that regardless of if the boys don't stick with the brand per se and like wear it on every night in on the court, they're still NBA players. And no matter what, they're associated, right? So this upcoming season, when you see LaMelo, he could be wearing Puma, but the whole notion of the Big Baller brand is still part of his journey and still part of that story that will have to be told anytime you tell his story. So they're still moving, man. They're into grassroots. They have some tournaments and stuff that they do in New York right now where they are sponsoring open gyms and stuff like that. They in the latest episode of the Ball and Family talked about sports complex that they're trying to do. So it's a new approach. It's not so much we're gonna build this with strictly on the backs of our like three sons anymore, but it's more like how do we take this from a brand that is centered around three sponsored athletes and then kind of ingratiated in the culture even more than it already is. So it's not dead at all, man. It's still moving. It's just moving in a bit of a different way.
Yeah, that's what's up. Like I said, I didn't think they fell apart. I just, like I said, man, when somebody comes to you with a bag that big, it's just like you'd be stupid not to pass it up, especially when you can get that type of bag and he hasn't played one NBA game. Because again, you might play, you might get hurt, it might change. We saw it happen with Lonzo. So again, I think that's just about a learning. And maybe there were some offers that they wish they could have took with Lonzo that they didn't want to pass up with LaMelo. It's just too much money to pass up on, and you can still let LeVar run the Big Baller brand, and that's still so you're getting it back from really all three places.
Yeah,
I like how they're growing. I like what they're doing.
Yeah, it's man. You know what it is. To me, it's like great to see him take the bag, but then it's also like in today's world where you could sell direct to consumer merch. If you're thinking like Puma is giving you 100 million potentially, and right now, obviously there'll probably be some shoes and stuff coming, but like the short play is on draft night, you're gonna get the LaMelo Ball Puma t-shirts and hoodies. Like you could do your own t-shirts and hoodies, you know what I mean? Like LaMelo Ball has a strong enough following where if it's just the LaMelo Ball company, you know what I mean? He could do a damn near a decent amount a year. I think that what they may have noticed is it's really hard to be a young up and coming NBA basketball player full time and also run an entire apparel company and have your hands on it and be able to know who everybody is and be involved in the day to day. You can't do it. You just got to have amazing people in position to do that. And so I feel like that kind of stifled a bit of their trust. And I hope that it doesn't like deter some of these up and coming athletes to do the same thing because they were making really, really, really good money at the height of it. You know what I'm saying? Like millions of dollars a month in sales off of just hoodies and t-shirts and all of that stuff. So I hope they come back or get it right. But so
that is with clothing brands, that happens all the time. We see clothing brands have to fall off and like you say, rebrand. We saw that with Champion. Like you think about like 10 years ago, they were selling Champion in Walmart. Nobody was buying it. They rebranded, they bounced back. Now it's in Foot Locker. Everybody was wearing it. And we saw that with Puma. Puma had it falling off. Nobody was rocking no Pumas 10 years ago. Now they rebranded. They got younger athletes. Now they back. You know, who knows Reebok? It's a lot of companies who can bounce back. And you're going to see this all the time in the clothing. So this is just that phase where they just got to regroup, bounce back. I think they're going to be back. And the main thing I like is that they kept everything up. The foundation is still going. The website is still up. And for the people that want to get the gear, it's there.
Yeah. And to your point, man, if you look at the history or the stories of like Nike, Under Armour, you know what I mean? Those companies that grew here domestically, like it's 5, 6, 7 years in, nobody had heard of them, you know, like old boy from Nike was selling waffle shoes for years out of the back of his truck at track meets, you know, and it grew 10 years, 15 years into a place where they can get the shoes on Jordan feet, and then it become what it is today. Under Armour was the wicker sweatshirts for 6 years before they even put a shoe out or had the cleats or the click clack and all of that stuff. So if you look at what the Big Baller brand was in year 1 or 2, where it's a household name at some point, like the trajectory that they were on was much faster than a lot of these well-known established brands that own all of the market share when it comes to sneakers, which is also partly why I believe, and the conspiracy theorist in me believes, that some of the trauma and drama that they ended up having was uncovered intentionally to halt and slow up some of the stuff. And like the bag of being like, yo, bro, we need to get you away from the brand before y'all start doing anything too crazy, becomes a collective decision that, as a, you know what I mean, these sneaker companies and different organizations got to make in order to stop what was happening. Because it legitimately, man, there's like reports and folks do the analysis on it where they were getting like millions, like I think I seen somewhere like $60 million worth of marketing, free marketing, just having LeVar go around and do these interviews and shop the brand. You know what I mean? They dropped the shoes. It's on First Take. He on there with the sneakers. You know what I mean? He on Fox Sports Net with the sneakers when they first dropped. Like they covered a lot of ground in a short period of time. So they got enough time to rebrand, bounce back, and do a lot of things before it's like over.
And that's what's up right there. Hey, any of y'all got anything on this?
Yeah, I mean, like the brand, I think it kind of, like I said, they was on a great trajectory, and I thought it was a cool thing to do. Having their home sneaker, being, you know what I mean, being independent, you know what I mean, because they had, like I said, players the one who selling them sneakers, you know what I mean. So I felt it could have been way more successful if they did a little bit better, more moves and stuff like that. And I mean, like, or like having a partnership. I thought that was gonna be like the future, like, or what they was gonna try to do, like Big Baller brand and have like a partnership with one of these companies. You know what I mean? Be like and I've been, you know, so it could be that way. We don't know. It still could be that way.
Here's my question to you. What, when you say successful, what in 1 year of business, what would you determine to be a number of revenue that is successful?
No, I mean, that I'm saying it was I'm talking about like like where they wanted to be at. Yes,
Yeah.
of course they were successful when they came out. But I'm talking about where they thought they would probably be at as of right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like LaMelo signed the Puma, strictly the Puma is like, so are they gonna even wear a Big Ball brand anymore? Like, how, I don't know how, you know what I mean? Yeah. How it's really gonna work.
No, I got you. Yep.
Cause I've been like, that was awesome. Like, I ain't gonna hold, that's awesome. They had their own shoes, and it's like, and then it's like, okay, that's, I mean, hey, you can direct to consumer, like you were saying earlier. So it's like, well, maybe they can do that in the future. Like I said, LaMelo, if LaMelo can, you know what I mean? Like, he plays great and he can negotiate these contracts, you know what I mean? Hey, Big Ball brand may be back on top. You know?
I think they could have been really far along too if LeVar would have let Markelle Fultz sign with him like he wanted to, because that's a co-sign right there. You get 2 of the top 3 picks under that one brand.
Yeah, have more.
That's
a
really good look.
I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't ever heard of that.
Yeah, and then LeVar came out and said, "Nah, this is a Ball thing," pretty much.
That's what I'm saying. If he had more people, if he had like more people, if he had like more, that's what I'm saying. Like, he did like this, did a little like he made little mistakes, and it was like, I feel like if he had like a whole team, like a Big Baller brand, like that'd been. I mean, he's been a real threat. The Nike and Adidas, all them.
That's where Puma got smart. You know what they started doing? They just said, you know what? We're gonna sign all of these young guys before they even get to the NBA. We're gonna offer them. We're gonna sacrifice money now and hope that these guys can blow up and blow our brand up, and that's why they've blown up.
Right.
Because they've taken that risk. That's what happened with Nike and Jordan. Nike offered Jordan a crazy amount of money early on that nobody was offering, just because they were thinking forward. They were thinking in the future, and it paid off big time. So all Puma is doing, they're following that same format. We're going to get guys early, and hopefully it pays off 10, 15 years down the line. And I think LeVar's going to learn that. I think he's going to eventually expand out to getting other athletes on board. And then once he starts doing that, I mean, we know how he is. He's personable. He's going to market you. He's going to get you out there, and it's going to start growing again. So it's just a matter of time.
LeVar need to be like a promoter or something. He need to be like a boxer promoter, man.
Yeah.
Something. He needs.
Man, he know how to hype stuff up, man. I like what he did. A lot of people didn't like how he did it. I didn't. I liked how he did it. Like you, I don't care what you say. You got a lot of people crying about how he came out and talked crazy to everybody, and he did his own thing everywhere. At the end of the day, he got the job done. It's mission accomplished. He can go home and be like, mission accomplished. All three of my boys.
That man was on 2K.
Even Jello could potentially get signed by NBA team this year.
The best NBA hype man ever.
Yeah,
But it wasn't hype because it's hype if they complete bombs. Like Lonzo is a top 5 pick. LaMelo is going to be a top 3 pick. I mean, they all could have easily played at some of the biggest D1 schools in the country. That's a win to me, and they all millionaires. So at the end of the day, you got mission accomplished.
He did his job. He did his job, man.
That's mission accomplished.
Yeah, it's mission accomplished. And you know what, man? If you think about it like this, like the Markelle Fultz thing, I feel like I remember hearing that, but like obviously that they probably dismissed that right away. You know what I'm saying? Because that was the same draft. He came out with Lonzo and all that, so that was crazy. But what it is too is, and like this, what I'm saying is, like they really just started it like full steam ahead a few years ago. So it would take a lot for a brand that. And I don't even think that I feel like they felt like it was going to be big, but I don't think that they knew how crazy it was going to grow in the first year. So like, you're not thinking I'm about to pay Markelle Fultz was number 2 pick 3 or so how much money he would potentially be asking for from what he would have made with Nike or some other brand. Like in year 1, you're probably not trying to kick that out right away, you know? Like you got a homegrown thing built in with your sons, so you can go that route. But I think that's what stopped them from like signing a ton of athletes in the first year. And I would say too, a lot of the things that folks feel like were hiccups were like intentional things that they did to get the media storm going again. You know what I mean? Like $500 sneakers, right? Like that's an astronomical amount for a pair of kicks for your first shoe.
I thought that was crazy myself. I was like, oh hell no, ain't nobody gonna pay $500 just for those.
Yeah, but nobody gonna pay $500. But if you're looking at it, you say, damn, I can't get the $500 shoes, but I might as well just get the $80 hoodie. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I might as well get the t-shirt, and the margins is probably better on the t-shirts and hoodies than on the $500 shoes anyway. You know, so.
Yep, that's facts. I like the direction they're going. I don't know. I honestly don't know where they're gonna go next. Have you heard anything about them expanding out, signing? Because they've been doing a lot of stuff, like you said, with other youth players. And so I don't know if they just setting the foundation for hopefully working with some of these guys if they get into the college realms or professional realms. Do you think that's what they setting themselves up for now, especially working with these young guys so much?
Yeah, I think that they're doing that, man. And one of the guys who is helping them right now is Chris Rivers, who was a dude. He was with Adidas. He was their head of like grassroots basketball and all of that stuff. So that's his lane, his expertise. The other guys, Wayne Moreno, who was a dude who did a lot of tournaments and all of that stuff in Southern California, was a high school basketball coach for years out there. So for those guys, it's second nature to kind of build from the grassroots and kind of get youth involved. So I think that to me is the next like few different steps of how do you get coaches buying into what you're doing. Like I said, with the complex and the arena that they're trying to build and hold these different AAU events, and and do what a lot of these companies were doing like 10 years ago, trying to get these new players. So by the time you leave college, you thinking to yourself, man, I am the only shoes I want to wear is Big Baller Brand. I've been wearing them for the last 5-10 years. So I think that's where they're going. And then maybe if that catches traction, to start signing athletes again to Rocket. But we'll see, man. I would say, I think what I would love to see them do is, because they had the JBA, and there's a few of those guys who continue to play professional basketball overseas. There's a few of those guys who are getting workouts for this upcoming season to play G League or in the NBA somewhere. So I would love to see them at least start with those dudes of like, yo, let's get a sponsorship deal with you all and kind of build from there, since the relationship is already there.
Right.
Yeah, I think that'll be.
Y'all was rocking them projays, man. Y'all can rock Big Ball Brand, man. I'm just saying. I remember that. I remember that protege wave.
Lou, your mic's cutting out, Lou. If you can fix your mic, we can probably hear you better. But your mic's cutting out, Lou.
You hear me now?
Yeah, that's better. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, that kid in Europe, that 7-3 guy, if he ends up turning out being the hype he is, about time he ready for the NBA, they may go after him.
Warriors.
I would definitely. I mean, especially if I'm a seedling company and I'm looking to endorse one of these athletes, I'm gonna definitely be looking towards the bottom of one of these drafts, like the Nico Mannions. Some of these guys who got star potential, but they just getting overlooked. Cole Anthony's another guy getting overlooked big time, and we know Greg Anthony's a big businessman because he gave up his scholarship at UNLV, so he could make money off his own likeness. So I mean, I would be looking towards the bottom of this draft, and we know the connection between who's the guy from USC. There's a direct connection with him and the Ball family, isn't it, AB? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Onyeka Okongwu.
Yeah, yep. Big O, yep.
That's another. I think another guy where if you had a relationship, maybe you could use that relationship to, and you might have to overpay him, but you can use that relationship, get an endorsement deal signed with them, overpay these guys early, and if they pan out, that's where the big dividends come down the line. But I like this setup. I mean, they got. It sounds like from what you're saying, they got good people around them down there. So I know they're gonna make the right moves. I'll be there to support them when they do.
Yeah. Straight up, man. They're moving. They're moving. They exploring new ideas. I actually talked with some of them yesterday and today just about some stuff. So they always got a ton of things going on, and I think that the pandemic probably has allowed them to test some things out that maybe fly underneath the radar. Because I do think that part of the issue with trying to catch one of these guys who lower in the draft, like the image that they were trying to portray at the beginning is like the big ballers, like we do everything big. It's a $500 shoe, you know what I'm saying? Like this is luxury. We want the top player in the draft. We started with, you know what I'm saying, the number 2 pick to the Los Angeles Lakers. We can't, now we're gonna slide all the way down. So I think that maybe now being able to, you know what I mean, massage some things a little bit underneath the radar would lean itself a little bit to getting some of these new dudes wearing the stuff.
Facts, man. I mean, hey, I want to ask you, Iron Bike, like, what companies have, like, and this is for all y'all too. Like when we think about it, what companies have had that trajectory, the same trajectory as the Big Baller Brand, and then made a bounce back? Like when you think about a company that started off on fire.
Hey, you know what company I think of right off the bat? Adidas. They fell off so hard until Kanye brought him back. Put him back on the map.
I don't think.
Think about it.
They kind of fell off, but
they really did. Though that's a good fact.
Nike almost put Adidas out of business until Kanye left Nike and went and brought that Yeezys. Now everybody talking about Yeezy. So The big baller brand could definitely bounce back. They just 1 star away.
I wouldn't say Adidas because they always had like
They became irrelevant though.
I think they became irrelevant for a
they
period
became,
of
bro.
time.
I'm heavy into fashion. They
Well,
became
yeah,
irrelevant.
when did Kanye signed to Adidas? Because like people was
Like
rocking Derrick Roses a
2016,
lot.
2017, 2016,
Not-
20. I'm big into fashion too. 2016, 2017.
If
Like
it,
as
yeah,
soon
if
as
they,
he
when they
went there,
fir-
you
when
saw
they,
a whole bunch of releases for Adidas.
yeah, but it's Kanye.
Immediately.
But that's Kanye. What I mean, here's the thing that I think. Well, Adidas is bigger than it ever was, but I don't think. I mean, I want to say they
That's
really
thanks to
drop off
Kanye
that
though.
much,
That's
but they
that's
bigger
thanks
than
to
it ever
Kanye.
was. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it just
What you're trying to say is that Adidas had a ground to stand on. Big baller brand is like so small. Like Adidas was already big in the '90s, so that's what you're trying to say, right?
I got that.
well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Adidas. I mean,
Yeah, we got a couple new people in the chat. Now, let's hear from Havoc real quick. I know he said this is his first time here. Oh, he just hopped out the chat, matter of fact. Nicholas Smith, what you got on it?
What's good, fellas? How you doing today, man?
Salute.
what up? What up?
It's an honor to be here, man. I really
Sir.
appreciate y'all bringing me on.
What you got on this LaMelo Ball situation? How you feel about? I know you've been hearing what we've been talking about. What you got on LaMelo Ball and how he can do in the NBA on and off the court?
Well, I'll add to the shoe discussion you were having, talking about the shoes that came on and fell off. I remember when K-Swiss tried to come on and become a basketball brand, and they fell back. I think now they're only really getting endorsements from like junior athletes now. But in terms of LaMelo, man, it appears he has the skill set to be the number one pick. And I know a lot of people are talking about Denny Avdija, but when you hear that hype, particularly before the draft, from a team that has a top pick, that this guy is doing great, this guy is doing great. That's all a smokescreen. That's all the NBA teams do that. They'll hype you up and say this. All these guys are doing amazing. But for me, man, I think he's going to be a superstar in the league. Personally, it's his pedigree, particularly right now when you see that he's overseas. He's not like in college right now, but he's overseas giving guys the work daily. I think he's gonna be a superstar in the league, man. I thoroughly believe. I know Anthony Edwards could be the number one pick, but I think LaMelo is gonna take it. I think he's gonna be the number one pick. I think he's gonna be a superstar in the league. And if the Warriors get their hands on him, that's just the dynasty. Like this is almost like they're getting into their second wave of their dynasty. This is just gonna be like an extension of their dynasty, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
When they can hand off a little bit of that pressure to him, and he can take the ball and run with it.
Wow, that's a hot take, man.
What you got, Havoc?
Yeah, man, it's a little bit. Is it a hot take? I mean, I think that's I think that's all pretty reasonable to say.
I got something I want to put in on that too.
Okay.
Yep.
I want first off, salute to y'all, salute to you, Lamar, salute to the chat. Appreciate y'all letting me in again.
Yes, sir.
This ABF from last night, matter of fact, just to let y'all know. But I wanted to get on the what y'all was talking about with the big baller brand shoe and stuff like that. The reason why LeVar priced this shoe the way that he did is something called psychological pricing. If he would have came out and priced his shoes like how Stephon Marbury did and how Shaq did, only selling them for $20 at Payless, let's be real, people are not going to buy them. Right. You see what I'm saying? If you have a kid, let's just take it back to when we was in school. If you seen somebody come in school with a pair of Shaqs on or something like that, 10 times out of 10, they was getting laughed at. You know what I'm saying? So I think LeVar was just thinking on that mindset. I have to pretty much trick people. I don't want to say trick people, but I have to give people the image that the shit that I'm selling is premium shit. You see what I'm saying? Like it's a hot commodity. You feel me? And then on top of, I want to stay on LeVar Ball too, because at the end of the day, we got to give this man his credit. Yeah, he's a man. Everybody's gonna say, "Oh, he's supposed to do his job. That's what he did as a father." I don't know too many people that had 3 sons go to one of the most prestigious schools in the world and then have 2 of them be top 5 draft picks in the NBA. I don't know anyone else who's ever done that. If somebody can, research that for me, then you can let me know. But I just wanted to take it to this angle. The media, let's just keep it real. The media doesn't like LaVar Ball. Why? He's brash. He has quote unquote hot takes. He pokes his chest out. He talk a lot of shit. You see what I'm saying? And they don't like that. They want him to come, tiptoe around, be quiet like a church mouse and that type of shit. And people don't like that. They're intimidated by that. You could take it back to the Christine Leahy incident on Fox when he told her to stay in her lane and shit. You see what I'm saying? So I just think we got to give this man his props for the job that he's doing with his sons. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, that shit is unbelievable. You see what I'm saying? As far as LaMelo, I think he's going to be a superstar. Wherever he goes, I think he has the skill set. You know what I'm saying? And the mindset to succeed in the NBA, I'm rooting for him just like I'm rooting for Lonzo, just like I'm rooting for Jello. Like, I want to see them boys do good because the media for the last 3 years been trying to do everything that they can to tear the push them kids away from their dad. They want them to separate themselves from their dad, and I don't like that. So I'm rooting for them boys.
Yeah, I think a lot of the media, like kind of the hate. I don't know if it's coming from the media, but just people in general. I think that's what's made that whole family stronger. So I think internally in those conversations, again, just like with NBA circles, I think they laugh at a lot of the stuff that they hear and a lot of the rumors that people are saying because they're back there. They're still probably going to be a close-knit family. They're still all highly successful. They're doing well on the basketball court. They have other businesses that are doing well as well. So, I mean, when you're having that much success, I don't know. There's not really too much you can complain about. I don't think there's much to complain about. But I like talking about that LaVar Ball stuff with the media, how they overblew some of those issues with Christian Leahy and Molly Karam.
Yeah,
I just felt like those were just attempts. I think those were just opportunistic moves to try to diminish him, and he didn't let it break him. Like that I think that's like the cancel culture that we live in. They try to cancel you, and he's just one of those guys because he's independent. He wasn't able to get canceled, and he was able to withstand just everything that came his way.
Hey, I got something to say about that, but I feel like we have to give LaVar some partial blame because think about it this way, man. You are not the one playing basketball, right? And you all up in the records, all up in the videos. You want all the attention. You're supposed to sit back and play in the backgrounds like an Uncle Dennis. Let your son, let their games speak for themselves. You don't have to be all up in the radios. You're talking about, oh, my son is better than Curry. He's going to show you we don't want to play for this team. Like, you hurting your son. You put all this pressure on Lonzo to perform. And now look at him. You get what I'm saying? So you gotta take some of the blame.
I mean, I agree with that, but at the end of the day, I mean, he said what he said was true. He said he gonna put both his sons in the league at top 5, and he did it at the end of the day. I don't like some of the stuff LaVar did myself either, but at the same time, I mean, he did it his way.
I don't see nothing wrong. I don't see nothing wrong with a man, hyping his sons up. You see what I'm saying? Talking them up, speaking life into them, because you hear a lot of these guys, they come in and they say, oh, their parents, used to quote unquote, play psychological mind games with them and talk down to them and say they wasn't good enough. That was just like Barry Sanders' dad. Barry Sanders' dad always used to tell him, oh, you'll never be better than Jim Brown and all that other type of shit. But so I think it's a breath of fresh air to have a black man at that, you know what I'm saying, talk his sons up. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to give your kids, that confidence to, you know what I'm saying, that they can go out and ball and they can, you know what I'm saying, live up to the quote unquote hype. But I understand what you're saying. Like, at the same time, he putting a target on their back because everybody is waiting for them boys to fail. You see what I'm saying? So they can be like, oh, see, look at LaVar. Right. He's this tyrannic figure. You know what I'm saying? He's just this overbearing dad and all that other type of shit. Like, Because if he wasn't there, if he was a quote unquote, like how they trying to do with the Dwight Howard and his kids, if he wasn't there, they'd call him a deadbeat. Oh, he wasn't shit. He wasn't in his kid's life. Oh, his kids made it to the NBA without him, just like LeBron. Like LeBron made those, posts about, I didn't know who my dad was and stuff like that. So it's like a damn if you do, damn if you don't. If he's there, if he's pushing his sons, oh, he's being overbearing. But if he would have just left off and ran away, oh, he's a deadbeat. So it's like, how can this man win?
Yeah.
Well,
And you know what?
I look at it from a different angle, right? I don't think he was. I think the fallout of what LeVar did put the heat on his sons. But from a business perspective, hey man, you taking on the mafia when you come in there trying to go up against Nike and all these companies. And what I feel LeVar did is he used the media to pump not only his sons but that business. I believe that was the ultimate goal. And he pumped it so well that the business didn't have the foundation to support the success that they ran into so fast.
Right.
And so I think the fallout of that was, we took it personally like, hey, he really think his son better than Curry. I don't believe he believed that at all.
No.
I think he just looked at it like, hey, this is a Floyd Mayweather deal where if I can make half the people hate me, half the people buy the shoe or see what I gotta say just to see if I fail.
It's a win-win for LeVar.
It's a win-win. And notice how he done faded into the background. He got what he got because he could not take on these corporations as a low-level dude just trying to grind in the mud.
Hold on, is that Beast?
Yeah,
that's Beast.
Hey, but could we say he faded into the background because Lonzo didn't live up to the hype?
No, I think it was the failings of the company that faded him into the background. Regardless of what Lonzo did, LeVar became his own thing. LeVar became a star on his own, regardless of Lonzo. And I believe they didn't sign Markelle Fultz not because they didn't have the money, but just think if Markelle Fultz and lit it up, that would be it would look bad. That company was for his sons.
Right.
It overshadows the sons.
It was the sons thing. So he wanted to get that off the ground. He used the media to get publicity and other stuff that he could never pay for and go head to head with Nike and these other companies. And the media knew what he was doing. That's why they was trying to trap him. But he had so much attention, he was so hot that they had to cover him.
I think one of the things he learned, and I think this is why we kind of seeing him fade away. I mean, on top of the fact that he has a lot going on business wise, I think is that he got smarter when obviously we know he had the issue with his business partner. That's still getting panned out. But what I'm saying is that teaches you a lesson right there. What that teaches you is that I may need other people to help here. I mean, I may need to put somebody in place over here to do this. I may need to put somebody with LaMelo so he can handle LaMelo while he's doing his basketball thing and I can handle things over here. I think he's just learning. And as a business person, you learn these things. That's just happening when you grow in business. You start to see quickly that as you get bigger, as more money comes in, it's hard for you to do everything. Because you got and so he's just splitting, and I think that when the issue with the money and Lonzo, I think that was just a learning lesson where he just got smarter and was like, I really need to diversify this and bring in some really smart people that I can trust that can help me get things done, so nothing like this happens again. And when you have more people involved, you have more eyes on the money. So if something funny over here is going on, you can somebody else might be able to spot it before it becomes a public thing. Because I tell people all the time, y'all think this stuff don't happen in Microsoft and Apple and all these big companies? The money getting stolen, that happens in every business in the United States.
True.
But when it happens with Big Baller Brand, the media likes to make it public like he's being sloppy. No,
it's World War III.
That happened when you're dealing with that much money. It's always going to be somebody who wants to try to steal or cut off the top. You just got to be able to weed them out and keep it moving. That's all it is.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that he gave one of his homeboys a chance, he gave him a shot.
That too.
You know
what I'm saying? It's not like he brought in somebody from the outside to say run my business. Like he kept it quote unquote in house.
Yeah.
You know,
He gave
like how
opportunity to a
everybody
guy,
loves,
sure.
like how everybody want to say, oh, people get famous and they forget where they came from. No, LeVar actually tried to stay within his roots. And you know, they say it never be a stranger that gets you. It's always the ones closest to you that get you. And he ended up getting got. You know what I'm saying? So I think, like what Lamont said, I think he learned from that. You see what I'm saying?
Hey, we got our first Japanese fan in the building. I know a little Japanese.
Snap.
So hopefully, if you can speak English, man, hop in the chat, man. We want your intake. I need all the love from Japan, but I know that's definitely Japanese.
Yeah, I could read it. I could read that.
I know that's definitely Japanese.
What it say?
It says free CJ.
No, it don't. Don't say no free CJ. No, hold on. But yeah, like we staying on LeVar, man. I like, again, y'all also got to understand this too. And I want AB to tap on this too. When your business grows, everybody feels like they can tell you how to market your business. Everybody's gonna tell you what you should or shouldn't do. Like, I think as they got bigger and people saw that it was really gonna be a real thing, that these LaMelo's gonna be a top draft pick, Lonzo's gonna be great. I think now you got everybody saying, "Oh, you shouldn't be saying this. You shouldn't be doing this." When I think let him do his own thing. I think a lot of times we get people who don't know nothing about business or growing a business or making money. They always want to chime in, telling you what you should or shouldn't do on how to market your sons. And I'd be like, I'm not gonna take advice from somebody who ain't ever made a dime in marketing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
it sounded like he had like $1 billion. Like I think with LeVar, he had $1 billion marketing plan, but he didn't have the $1 billion business first. You know?
No, that's backwards. That's backwards.
Yeah, that's backwards and shit.
You gotta have a plan, then to build a business. You can't just have $1 billion business and then.
No, that's what I said. He had a $1 billion marketing plan. Like he was able, like, for example, every time he went on ESPN, that's millions of dollars of exposure. All them little Stephen A clips of him going wild and him Stephen A going back and forth. Yeah. That's like millions of dollars worth of advertisement. So he had the plan to get the exposure. He had $1 billion marketing plan to get the exposure. But when it came to like having the infrastructure necessary to like build up the shoes fast enough, he didn't necessarily have that. Or he didn't necessarily have the things like in terms of the quality of the shoes. Those are things infrastructural things that you just have to build out first. And he didn't have that to start with.
That's some of that stuff about the shoes is not true, y'all.
Yeah.
Again, LeVar came out and explained that, y'all. He said some of the shoes was prototypes.
So
go ahead, AB. Go ahead, AB.
Oh yeah, I'll say part of what he said is correct, right? They did not like I was saying, like it blew up much faster than folks expected it to. And like, yeah, the stuff with the shoes was they had the original ones that he was wearing in the summer league that were prototypes that they were trying to get it to market as fast as possible. Then before anybody even got those, they came back out with a better version with a partnership with a company who like actually had the shoes when they partnership with Brand Black. And then and I think that where a lot of folks mess up or don't look at LeVar as is like he's the owner of the business, right? So let's say if you take Zion Williamson, who signs with Jordan Brand is going to put millions of dollars to market Zion every year, right? And so when you're LeVar, folks look at him as not the CEO or the head marketing chief of Big Baller Brand. Look at him as Lonzo's dad. So when he's marketing him as like the CEO of the company that sponsors him, folks say, bro, you need to sit down somewhere and let your kid do his thing. But if you are the CEO of the company, you can't sit down. You have to be, you the face of the brand damn near. You got to be out there. So a lot of the like you play your role as a father and be quiet and let your son, you can't do that because you also, you're his dad, but you also like the CEO of the brand that sponsors him. So he kind of took some flack for that, but folks just didn't realize that the hat that he was wearing, how many hats that he was wearing. And I think that there was the learning curve in this short period of time. And part of to what you were saying is legitimately behind the scenes, you had like LeVar and you had his business partner pretty much running the entire show, right? So from starting a basketball league and successfully doing that, we've seen how hard it is for leagues to start and then to continue into season 2. They managed to have a full season and then take it over to Europe. They managed to release Melo shoes, 2 versions of Lonzo's, G3s, tons of merch, millions and millions of sales, plus all of the marketing generated, and legitimately the company at times, like the heads of it, was LeVar and his guys. So they were accomplishing a lot with a little, but it's just like, even with all of those 2 people being like the folks doing the majority of it, the demand still was just greater than whatever they could accomplish. And so I think that now what you see is there are more people, and like you said, more people means more people watching the money, more people watching the merch, more people doing all of this stuff. So it'll probably be smoother once they kind of get the marketing back to the level that they had it. But it's just a lot of stuff that they were doing that most folks said couldn't be done anyway, right? You couldn't sell the shoe for $500. Then you hear Jay-Z say, I bought 4 of them. You hear Shannon Sharp. You hear a lot of accounts of people who saying they spent the money on the shoes. Plus, anytime you go, I go places all the time and I wear my BBB merch and stuff. And it'd be, no matter, it'd be the old white woman, it'd be the young. I was at my son's elementary school. He's in the 3rd grade. And all of his kids are screaming, "Oh my God, BBB, big ball!" You know what I mean? So they created some market share, man. But like he was saying, man, it just was too much at a time, man. But so they're resetting it and kind of getting it going again.
Yeah, that's fact.
Hey, and AB, where I felt like they messed up, like LeVar type kind of fumbled the bag, was the pricing of the shoes. I mean, I wanted to support him, right? But I was not going to pay $500 for some hooping shoes that I can't even get fly in. You know what I'm saying? If they had it priced at $200, I feel like the normal person, a lot of were gonna pay that price.
Mm-hmm.
But not a lot of people were willing to pay that $500 price tag. I seen celebrities supporting him, like the Game, like you saying Jay-Z, but the regular like Joe walking around was not paying $500 for those kind of shoes.
Yeah. Now I agree. The price tag, I think it was like a gift and a curse. So because it was $495, every media outlet picked that up and marketed the shoes right away, right? They had the $495 version, they had the $1,000 version. The $1,000 version sold out. The $495 version sold some, but so it's, you could have it be $200, you could have it be $150, but then you lose $60 million in marketing after that. You know what I mean? So it's like I was saying earlier, like, yeah, you might not have been able to cop the shoes, but you could also take the awareness and get a hoodie. You know what I mean? So it's a trade-off. But yeah, I wish that the initial price would have been lower, or like maybe if they would have came out at $495 introductory price and then after 6 months dropped it down to something more affordable, like it would have been cooler probably. But it's like a gift and a curse. So it was a misstep, but then also it ended up being like one of the best decisions they probably had ever made. And I'll say this, like I know earlier we were comparing like the Adidas thing, right? And the funny thing about Adidas is that it's more of, at this point, it's a lifestyle brand, right? So Kanye brought the brand to be something special, right? He brought it back, but like nobody's really hooping in Adidas. You know what I mean? When you talk about sportswear, like you mentioned, you can get fly with the Yeezys, you know what I'm saying? And I know he finally releasing his basketball version of the Yeezys, but is the majority of folks who really hype on the Adidas wave right now is because it's a lifestyle. So like when you comparing the Big Baller brand basketball sneaker to the Adidas lifestyle shoe, like you can't compare it a bit because it's sneakers, but it's like two different target markets.
Mm-hmm. Hey, we got First time in the chat, man. We got DKM in the chat, man. This dude, I've been an admirer of his content for a while, man. We talking about Lonzo Ball, man. What you got on it?
Appreciate you having me up in here. AV, what's good, bro? Good to see you again, my man.
What's happening, Captain?
Well, basically, Lonzo Ball. I mean, what do you want to talk about? Missing layups?
No, we've been touching on everything. We started off with the LaMelo Ball. Obviously, you got the media narrative that just came out a couple of days ago, kind of discrediting his skill set. A lot of people are saying that they don't think he'll pan out in the NBA. I don't think he would be the number one prospect in this draft if he didn't have some type of promise or some skill. I think there's a big misconception of the fact that his percentages from when he played in Australia, how that's going to translate to the NBA. I think NBA scouts are looking at the game a little bit deeper than what we are. They see a lot of things that we don't see, and I think he can fit with almost 10 to 15 different teams. He's one of the few players in this draft that you can plug on almost any team and he can find a role. Unlike Wiseman or even Anthony Edwards, who we don't know what they are. We know what LaMelo can do. We've seen him play against pros to some degree. But what do you got on all of the stuff that's been circulating around the media?
Well, basically, first and foremost, I want to debunk this latest theory that's come out that his draft stock is sliding, because that is the most smokescreen. That's the most bull. I don't know if I can cuss on here, but BS, right?
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, that story comes from Rick Bowell, who's a Charlotte insider, something along those lines. He says that LaMelo is stinking up his interviews or whatever, but he's only had one interview, and that interview was with the Minnesota Timberwolves. So how's someone that's meant to be intimately involved with the Charlotte organization getting word of what's happening in Minnesota when Melo hasn't even met with the Hornets yet? It would be understandable had he interviewed with the Hornets and it was that reporter coming out with that information, but he doesn't meet with the Hornets for the next 2-3 days. I'm going to take Jonathan Givony of Draft Express and ESPN. I'm taking his word over that reporter down there in Charlotte. But as for being able to translate to the NBA level and what he's done in the pros, LaMelo's been doing this. AB saw it up close and personal against pros over in Europe when he was 16 years old. He has experience that other prospects simply don't have. They've been the best player their entire lives, up through high school, up through college. They're going to have that adjustment when they get to the next level where they walk in the locker room and all of a sudden they're not the guy. LaMelo had that when he went to Lithuania when he was 16 years old on a much smaller scale. So what do you think that would have done as like a reality check? You go to Lithuania, you used to be in the Star, California, most popping teenager in all of Los Angeles. And then you go over to Lithuania, you think you're just going to tear it up, a country you've probably never heard of. And all of a sudden you're on the bench, you're struggling. That's a reality check for him back then that he won't have to then go through when he gets to the NBA. So when he went to the NBL, he already knew that the professional level wasn't no joke and he had to take it seriously. And that's why in this past year, we've seen him rise up the boards faster than any other prospect because he knew what it took. RJ Hampton didn't have that same success in the NBL that LaMelo did. There's a reason for that, I believe.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, these guys, man, especially LaMelo, he's had somewhat of a pro career, and you can say to some degree by the age of 18. It's not a lot. It's not too many players in this draft who can say that they've been across the world to play against different types of talent, different types of players. So he's kind of traveled in that degree. But how do you think he'll translate and fit on the NBA teams? Like, what teams do you think could fit him best, or what great team like the Warriors do you think that's a possibility? Do you think he'll fit in with those guys? Does he have a role with the Knicks? Like, where do you think he'll fit best in the league?
For me personally, the best fit for LaMelo would have been Detroit in terms of like basketball. I think if LaMelo had gone to Detroit, in the Eastern Conference especially, with their lack of a point guard, I think if they had that type of guy that could come in and average double digits his first year in the league, the Pistons could make a serious run at that 8th seed. He also has the Detroit connection with Jermaine Jackson, spending a lot of time down there working out. The Knicks, I like the Knicks from like a marketing standpoint. If you want to recreate summer 2017 and get the hype back to what it was, the Knicks, New York City, that's going to have the same kind of effect that Lonzo did in LA. As for the Warriors, I think LeVar probably burned that bridge back in 2018 when he was talking his smack about Steve Kerr, saying his boy's better than Steph Curry, all of that. So I don't know how much the Warriors want to get themselves involved with something like that of any team. I feel like they would be the most reluctant to do so. But you never know with the Warriors because they be playing checkers while everyone else is playing chess. If they went ahead and drafted LaMelo Ball, it really wouldn't surprise me. It would surprise me, but it wouldn't surprise me. Do you know what I mean by that? From them.
Mm-hmm. Y'all got anything on this Iron Bite? Jason and Nicholas, what y'all got on this? True the King, you hear me? Is your mic on?
Yeah, I'm on. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure. I thought my mic was on mute or something. Nah,
my mic was on mute.
Nah, what do y'all got on this? Y'all got any questions for DKM? Again, these is ball insiders, man. We like I said, we can answer. We can get a lot of questions answered right now.
Hey,
we don't have to speculate.
My fault, Lamar.
No, go ahead. You good?
Hey, DKM, if the Warriors trade that pick, what do you see them? What's the most likely move they'll make?
I mean, we were speaking about this on Ticket Show last night. Someone was saying Kelly Oubre could be on the market. The Phoenix Suns could be interested in trading him. So it could be some sort of deal with them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. AB, what do you think?
You saying if the Warriors trade the pick?
Yes.
I would say, I'll be honest with you, I think that if they got an opportunity to get LaMelo Ball and they don't, then they crazy just off the jump. You know what I mean? I think that when we talk about it as some of the needs that they need, obviously they need a bench, they need some big guys. When you think about the Warriors in the height of like when they were the Warriors 73-9 and all of that stuff, they had the Steph, the Clay, the Draymond, they had what's my guy? I just forgot his name. Sean Livingston, but in the starting lineup, Barnes, they had Harrison Barnes, who basically now is being replaced by Andrew Wiggins. I think that they need the guys like the Andre Iguodala's. They need the Sean Livingston type guys. So for that caliber or tier of player, like I feel like they could use that pick and get some vets who could really build out that roster. You know what I mean? I think that it's hard to say who right now with the way that the season is looking and the way free agency and all that stuff will happen. But I would think that instead of trying to get you a young kind of up and comer, look at how much value like the Lakers just got from the Dwight Howards, the Rondos, and all of that stuff. And I think that they should be trying to build out with some of these older cats who they could, you know what I'm saying, pay a little bit of money and put them in position to probably win a championship. Steal some of these dudes from off the Clippers who don't want to be there no more type of vibe.
Hey, can I say something, y'all?
Yeah, go ahead.
As a Warriors fan, one thing, well, let me start here. The whole LeVar thing, man, I love LeVar Ball, just getting 3 kids to the point where they're all known and accessible to the media and to the NBA. I don't never down that man. And for trying to, only thing that he messed up on was just putting out shoes that were $500 because most people can't afford that. Jordans ain't even $500 in some places. But let me just say this: I'm a Warriors fan, but I would rather the Warriors. I'm kind of conflicted with Warriors drafting Wiseman or actually making the trade. And I do like the trade about getting Oubre, and I do like and they're also talking about either getting Harkless or what's the guy from Miami?
Jay Crowder.
I kind of like that idea.
I like that
because I'm just looking at the defensive part of it because we need another defensive player. Only reason why I would say not draft the ball boy, and I watched him since high school. I think he's a great player. His shooting kind of surprised me that he doesn't shoot as good as I thought he would, but they don't need him. That's like I'd rather trade for Ben Simmons before we get him because he can't shoot either. Like, so I'm just saying, like, but I would just rather have Ben Simmons because he played better D. The ball boy don't play D, so I'd rather do that if we was going to do that. So we don't need him. So in my opinion, as a Warriors fan, I would either like to get Oubre or just without trading Wiggins, but find a way to get Wiseman or just draft Wiseman. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, I wouldn't want to do any. And most Warriors fans who I talk to out here this way, I'm out here in the Bay. Like, I just wouldn't want to do nothing else. We either want Wiseman. If we can get Oubre, that's cool. If we can get Crowder, that's cool. But we don't want the ball boy, only because I think that he don't shoot as well as people give him credit for. But he's a big boy. He's 6'8", 6'7", running point, which is great. But I'd rather have Ben Simmons over him. And other than that, I would just say, like, we don't need him. Like, I think he'd be a better look for Minnesota, just shooting it out to the boy that snitched on the people and some other cats. But we don't. The Warriors don't need him. Like, he don't shoot good enough for us. For us, he don't.
Ben Simmons do.
He don't shoot good enough for us. You say,
well, hold on. You lost me right there. So, but Ben Simmons do. But like,
no. What I'm saying is Ben Simmons can't shoot either. The ball boy can't shoot, but Ben Simmons is one of the best defenders in the league. So I'd rather, because we need defense. So I'd rather have Ben Simmons instead.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. Right.
Hold on, True. I just want to say, him calling him the ball boy, that shit is hella funny, bro. Ball boy.
Would y'all rather have a ball boy instead of Ben Simmons?
Yes.
Yes.
For that team, I think you feel better on that team. You'll feel better on that team.
I think that's a toss.
I would literally be watching that Ben Simmons. Hey, Ben Simmons got D, bro.
I understand that, but I'm gonna tell you. Yo.
There's levels to not being able to
do I sound crazy?
That sounds crazy. I don't know that's the Bay talk. I don't know that's Bay. I don't know that's the Bay lingo, but that just sounds crazy, man. Yo, that sounds.
Bro, no. You talk, no, I'm just talking how I talk, bro.
Yeah. No, we understand what you're saying. Hey, one thing I want to say though. The one thing I want to say about rookies, I think when we say he doesn't have defense, no rookie comes in NBA with defense. I don't. You show me one rookie that comes in the NBA just with lockdown defense.
Matisse Thybulle.
It's rare. It's rare. And again, you're talking about a guy. When you're talking about Matisse Thybulle, you're talking about a guy who is overseas. Is probably more aged than some of these other guys. He's just not your regular rookie coming in out of college. When you got these guys coming out of college, the transition from playing college defense to NBA, it takes them sometimes a year or two to figure it out. Look at Michael Porter Jr. For as talented as he was. Look at how he looked on defense.
I get that.
Michael Porter never was a defender, though.
Yeah, but Porter's way better offensively than
it still takes time. Like, that's the defense. I think is a weak argument, especially when you use it against LaMelo, because they all going to struggle on defense coming in. They all going to struggle.
Hey,
that's not his strength. He'll never be a good defender.
Weak only because my boys is getting old, bro. They 32 and 31 and 30. Like, we want to win next year. We don't want to wait till you get defense. We want to win next year. We used to get into the chip, bro. We want to win next year.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. But I will say, no, I'm not saying he's the answer. I'm just saying I'd rather have him than the ball boy. That's all I'm saying. But I kind of want to draft Wiseman because a 7-footer that can move and run, it's rare. Like, they usually slow and off-footed and the whole shit. But I'm just saying, I would rather kind of like have, if we're going to do that, man, let's just trade the pick and trade Wiggins for Ben Simmons, man, instead of drafting him. That's all I'm saying. We don't need him.
It's a horrible trade.
I
think he'd be better. I think the ball boy would be better with, like, Minnesota. I think he'd work.
Hold on. We're going to let somebody chime in on this. AB or DKM, y'all got something on what he just said?
Yeah, man, that's you also got to think when Lonzo was coming out, the biggest knock on him was also his defense, and now that's like the best part of his game. So, like you were saying, some of these dudes need an opportunity to show that they can be a defender. LaMelo on the defensive end as well fits really good to me in that Warrior style because he will get a few steals just playing the passing lanes. And also, I'll say, if you go back and watch a lot of the Chino Hills days, it's all press. Folks would say that he don't play defense, but if you listen to LeVar said, they play more defense than anybody because they defending you as soon as you pull the ball out and they trying to score as fast as possible. So quick shots and then get right back on defense. So the lateral movement and all of that stuff is there. It's just that one of the things that I remember hearing them say struggle with is once you put it into a defensive set and the scheme, all of the things that rookies, you know what I mean, trying to learn the new, more kind of schematics of NBA defense and all that all of them struggle with that type of stuff. So I don't think the defense would be an issue per se. I think that what he gives you that is more valuable than whatever deficiencies you have on defense is in that second unit. He's running your offense. You got an opportunity to have Clay stand on one side of the court, Steph stand on the other side of the court, and him drive and kick it. And he can finish around the rim. The man got a layup package that's super nice. So you surround him with shooters and some guys who can finish at the basket. You could have moments in the game where LaMelo is legitimately facilitating the offense to two of the greatest shooters ever. And if you can get Andrew Wiggins to actually play some basketball and be athletic, and he could throw some lobs and stuff to some big men like that, man, it'd be bananas.
So, bro, so let me ask you this, bro. So really, basically, okay, let's just say his shot don't get no better, and he still has to learn defense. I don't want him. I'm just telling you what Warriors fans are saying out where I'm at. I'm just telling you, like, we don't want him on the court with Draymond Green, so he can't play with Draymond.
And I would say this
because Draymond run the point. If Draymond not running the point, bro, if Draymond not facilitating, why we don't need him? We don't need him, bro.
No. The shot is not as correct. Obviously, the percentage is terrible.
Listen what I'm saying, though.
You got to let him respond if you're gonna ask him a question, though. You keep answering. You ask the question and you answer for.
My bad, bro. My bad.
Nah, you good. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'll say the shot is not as bad as it would seem. Like we talked about earlier, a lot of the problems with his shot is shot selection. So we've seen him just have an ultimate green light like never before. And he'll pull up from half court, pull up from 30, 40, 50, with a defender on him coming off the screen, just all type of stuff. So you would hope that playing for the Warriors, they would kind of clear up the shot selection issues, but he can knock down the shot consistently if he's open. I think that's what makes him also better than Ben Simmons is we could leave Ben Simmons in an open gym by himself and he would be too afraid to even take a shot. You know what I'm saying? So like at least Melo is going to shoot. Yep.
I look at Ben Simmons like Greek Freak. Like he take the ball down like Greek Freak and then you pass out to the shooters. I look at Ben Simmons like Greek Freak. Let's stop making him seem like he's something else. Nah, he's a Greek Freak. He's 6'10". The nigga he can take the ball down the court, but he gonna shoot. If he on the Warriors, he passing out to the shooters. He ain't even gonna try to shoot threes, and we don't need him to. Like Draymond, we don't need him to. But I don't think that Draymond but Ben Simmons played D. And the Warriors, as my team, I'm telling you, we need defensive wings. I don't care about the none of that shit. We just need niggas who can defend on the wing. And Ben Simmons can do it, and he can take the ball down, and he can pass out to the shooters. Like Greek Freak. Like he's really a Greek Freak type. They're the same dude. They're the same player.
But you got to keep in mind, in order for you to get Ben
they kind of the same player, bro.
Klay Thompson. You'd have to give up.
Hey, listen.
Hold on. Let's let DKM respond to that, and then as soon as you're done, DKM, we got a new first timer in the chat. Hopefully I say your name right. Farrah Vision. So if I said it wrong, correct me when you chime in. But we're gonna let DKM go, and then you up next.
Okay.
I just want to say, you got to clarify, right? You said Draymond can't shoot. You said LaMelo can't shoot. And you're comparing that to Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons, Giannis, like, they shoot low percentages. LaMelo Ball has shot a low percentage in the NBL last season. Draymond Green has shot a low percentage. But Ben Simmons has literally... Draymond has probably made more threes in one game than Ben Simmons has made in his entire career. So having Ben Simmons it's different. He's on another level of can't shoot. You can't just say, oh, well, Ben Simmons is better. LaMelo can't shoot. Ben Simmons can't shoot. Because Ben Simmons, not only can't he shoot, he won't shoot. Okay, he might be good on the defensive end, but Draymond's also solid on the defensive end. That's why you want him out there. Draymond, at times in his career, has shot around 40% from the three-point line. Ben Simmons probably hasn't shot 40 three-point attempts in his NBA career. It's different levels. Like Ben Simmons, I agree. He's a fantastic player.
Lamont, before the new timer comes, I'm just saying, if the chat, just ask in the chat, if we got Ben Simmons and Draymond Green on the court playing D, it makes our D and Klay Thompson. Don't it make it solid?
Man, y'all gonna lose. Y'all, you know, I mean, no space in zone defense, man. Like, I don't be real. Like,
No, the space is there. The space is there. We ain't got no
No,
real
it would
center.
not,
All right,
man.
hey, let's hear from the new guy in the chat. Let me put him unmute him. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Make sure I said your name correct, and then let us know what you got on this topic.
Yo, what's up, y'all? I'm Fahara. Big shouts out to AB, DKM. And
What's that?
Shouts out to everybody that's on here.
Yes,
sir. Yeah, how I feel about it, I think Melo he'll fit anywhere. I think that as I was looking at a video that was put up today about how he is even up on the rim. Like, he probably don't rebound it, like handily rebound, but he always kick it back out. And he's 6'7". So I think that Melo will fit anywhere. The Golden State Warriors, hands down, I think he'll fit. Like AB know I want him in New York. But I think that old boy will fit anywhere. I think he'll fit in anybody's play. I mean, because he's a rookie, he got to learn this NBA game, and as long as he got a good coach, I think that's what's the key is the coaching. I believe if he got a good coach, he gonna fit anywhere, and I believe that he can be off the ball too. The thing is, we don't really think that he can be off the ball because every time we seen him play, he always his hand. But this a new stage, this a new career, this a new game. So I believe that he'll fit anywhere. But I really want him to go to New York, and if he don't go to New York, I want him to just go ahead and go with the first round pick to the Timberwolves.
I like that. I don't like that fit with the Timberwolves for some reason. I don't know why. It's hard for me to even pinpoint it or talk about it. I just don't like that fit with D'Angelo Russell, ball dominant guard himself, Karl Anthony Towns, who also commands the ball a lot. I mean, I see other better fits. I don't even think Minnesota's even looking that direction. But I mean, like I said, LaMelo's one of the few players in this draft that you can plug into any team and make it happen. So, I mean, we never know. And this is one of the most questionable drafts I've seen in like the last 5 years. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know who's going to trade who. I mean, I'm hearing Minnesota may trade the first pick. I'm hearing the Warriors are going to trade the 2 pick. I'm hearing the Knicks are trying to trade up and get in there. I'm hearing Phoenix Suns is going to try to trade up and get into the draft, into the top 5. So it's just like, it's so much going on. There's so much that can happen. I'm real curious to see who's going to actually pull the trigger on LaMelo and what it's going to look like when we see it on the court.
Yeah, I just think we got to take into the consideration that these teams not going to look the same next year. So I believe it's going to be a lot of trading going on. So especially for Melo. So if he don't fit in Minnesota, I believe if they want him, they're going to trade. They're going to make some trades and put the ball in his hands. I believe wherever he goes, he's going to be the center. I believe that if he go to Golden State, he's not going to start the first game. I don't believe that. I believe that he go to somewhere like New York, Detroit, or the Timberwolves. He's going to be the star of that city. So it's a lot of money to be made off LaMelo Ball. So that's why I said he'll fit anywhere. But to me, a dope fit would be Golden State because he can learn under the 2 of the greatest shooters in the NBA history. But he got his own game. So I think that he's going to go somewhere where he's probably the star of the team, the head, the posters everywhere, all over the streets. But if he go to Golden State, I'll be really surprised.
Hey, DKM, I got a question for you, bro.
What's good?
If LaMelo's game is there, do you think the NBA would use to run him as the face?
Sorry, can you repeat that, bro? Someone's mic cut up. I didn't hear you.
I was saying if the game supports it, do you believe LaMelo has enough juice for the league to run him as the face, possibly?
I think that all depends on how he plays at the next level. If he comes out there and does what Lonzo did, you could have probably said the same thing about Lonzo. But if you're putting up 2 points on 1 of 11 shooting, that hype's going to die out pretty quick. But in terms of star power, in terms of marketing, I think he has been the face of the next generation of basketball players for quite a while now. I think he solely made the likes of overtime, made ball his life. I think LaMelo really does have that draw to him, that it factor, which you can't quite put your finger on. So if they want to make someone the poster boy of the league beyond LeBron in the next coming years, and if he can live up to expectations and be the superstar a lot of us believe he can be, then I don't see no reason why he can't be the face of the NBA in years to come.
Cool, thanks.
Anybody got any other questions about the balls, man? Again, we got some. Go ahead. Hold on. We got CA3 Sports talking here. Hold on. Let me give her from him. CA, he hasn't been in the chat for about a week or so. CA3, man, what you got on this LaMelo Ball situation? What we chopping it up on?
Oh, what's good? Personally, as a Pistons fan, I'm biased. I want LaMelo to come to Detroit immediately, man. We need a point guard, man. We haven't had a point guard since Chauncey Billups, man. We haven't been successful since we haven't had a point guard. So, I want him to come to Detroit. I think he'd be a perfect fit for Detroit. He would start right away. He's really LaMelo's a type of player that can go anywhere. But of course, I think he would fit the best at Detroit, just because his trainer is from Detroit and he's always training in Detroit. I think that would be a great fit for LaMelo to come to Detroit.
Hey, we got a new first timer to the chat. Ball Facts. I mean, if you guys don't know the name, then y'all ain't been following sports on YouTube. Ball Facts. We talking about LaMelo Ball, his situation coming into the NBA. Some of the nonsense that's going on in the media where people are saying that he's overhyped, overrated because of a few workouts. What you got on that?
What's good? First, man, appreciate that. I got to check you out. It's crazy. The first time on here and the whole Triple B Mafia on this mug. All right. I believe that's teams putting stuff out there. I read the Lonzo Wire today, and I'm like, okay, the quote, you got to look at the quote, and the quote, it just don't seem like it's full of too much value. And it was very vague and all that. No, there's some teams that want LaMelo Ball, and they're just putting things out there so he can get skipped up on and they can get him. They know what he's about. Come on now. You got people like Derrick Rose that, wasn't maybe the brightest tool in the shed, but they seen what the dude could do. They know what LaMelo could do. All that's hyperbole. So, all the hard work is done. Only because this COVID is everything getting stretched out, which it ain't too bad for us content creators because we can speculate here and speculate there. But he ain't got to do nothing. He can go in a cave right now and chill. He gonna get picked.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else got something on that?
Yeah, I totally agree with that, man. I think wherever LaMelo go, I think he gonna shine. I think if he coming off the bench, I think he probably gonna even shine more coming off somebody's bench. But I can't see him.
You good, bro?
Yo,
yeah. Rudy King, what you got on this? I haven't heard. Or Iron Biter, you two got anything on this, man? We're getting real deep on it. What's up?
We all we kind of. I think we hit. I think we hit all cylinders. It's just basically it's all speculation at this point. Nobody knows really. We guess we gotta wait and see. You know what I mean? What's going to happen? It's definitely everything's going on. Is definitely a big mystery.
Yeah, and here's the toughest question right here. This is gonna really get people thinking. What do y'all think the Jello move is gonna be? Like, I know we've seen him he's in this is probably the best shape I've seen him in his whole career. I know he's been in the lab working on his game. We know he's an elite shooter. I mean, it's about do you think they're gonna find a way to get him in the league this year?
G League. I seen he's getting in shape. You know what I mean? I think he can get in the G League this year. I wouldn't be surprised.
There's only one person you should be asking this question to, and it's that man right there in the bottom left-hand corner in the red. Ball Facts.
Hold on, let's hear it. Ball Facts, what you got on that?
See, right. I live in Illinois, right, and they announced Monday they shutting everything down again, so you can't go to restaurants, can't go to bars, like they going back into it. So everything seems so much up in the air. Like, what's really going on with the G League? I mean, we could barely get the NBA going. So, I would like to say, Jello's going to come into the G League. He's going to play 10 games, and he's going to get pulled up. That's what I want to say. But I don't even know what's going on with the league. But for sure, when Jello gets in the G League, all the haters are going to be put to shame. because the man is ready. I mean, out of all his brothers, like he don't ever come and just not be ready. He's ready. So if he hears all the talking, and Jello always, he's that kind of personality, like ready to prove the haters wrong. He ain't gonna say much, but he gonna show up and do it.
That's facts. AB, you got anything on Jello? I know. Have you heard anything about that?
What I'll say is, obviously, at the end of the last season, he was with the OKC Blue, and before that, you heard LeVar talk about. They basically had him on the practice squad for a minute because there was interest from other teams for him to play on, and then the way that they had him positioned on the roster was so that other folks couldn't pick him up before he was ready. So I think there's some interest for sure to see Jello play some ball, at least in the G League, hopefully get some shots with the NBA. But what I think is this is a great opportunity if you're a team who believes that LaMelo Ball is going to be a transcendent player and you're a small market to like set it up to where you can have LaMelo Ball for a longer time of his career than like the first two contracts, right? So you see this conversation, they had the interview with Jordan not too long ago where he talked about he knows how hard it is to get no big name free agent is coming to Charlotte. You know what I mean? When you could go to New York, you can go to LA. So in order to get a guy like LaMelo or one of these big names, you got to do it through the draft. So if you could pull a LaMelo through the draft, bring his brother in, then you might buy some cachet to where he will say, you know what, y'all looked out. So I'm gonna be here for 3 contracts instead of the first 2 where after I get my bag on my after my rookie deal and do that. So I think that the Timberwolves is be a great thing for them to do. Charlotte, the Bulls at this point, you know what I mean, bringing him up would be a great look for one of these teams to be strategic and play some chess and go ahead and get Jello. But I do believe that he got the skill set on his own to get in the league without having to like backdoor in with his brothers. But you know what I mean?
Hey, sometimes it takes that cachet. We see Giannis got his brother on that Bucks team. I don't think his brother would be in the league if it wasn't for Giannis.
Hell no.
I mean, if you're being honest. So again,
can't even hold it down in the EuroLeague. Never mind the NBA.
That matters. Like we talked about it in another show about being able to use your pool to make other moves happen. Agents might finesse one deal. If you do something for Giannis, he might be willing to stay in the Bucks just because you guys were able to take on his brother. You know, he's real family oriented. And because you guys were loyal to his brother, he may be loyal to you. See, a lot of people ain't looking at it from that aspect. So that what you just said right there is a real good point. I like that point, and it could actually mean something down the line.
Yeah, I feel like Jello. I feel like LeVar said it. You know, he said he speaks stuff into existence. He said Jello going wherever Melo go. That's what he said. Like, I'm not for sure that's going to happen, but I think that'll be a dope situation for whatever city that is.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm just saying, I think there'll be a dope situation for whatever city that is to bring in 2 ball boys in the same city in a small market. Like he said, Chicago. I'm a Chicago fan. My Bulls ain't won nothing since 97. No, 97, 98. So if it was a fit for LaMelo to even go to Chicago or something like that, that'll be crazy though. But if it's the Pistons or any other teams that's in the top, got the top 3 picks, and if they could bring Melo on, I think that like AB said, I think that help Melo to extend his contract if you bring my brother on as well.
I'm gonna tell y'all one of the best things that happened to Jello is what LaMelo was doing over there in Australia when them scouts looked at him, because a source told me that a lot of people wasn't worried about Jello at all. When LaMelo started popping again, a lot of people started inquiring about the middle brother, because if LeVar was right about this son and the next son, maybe we missed this one. So a lot of people started reaching back to them because they were reaching out about Jello, but people start reaching back like with interest when LaMelo got hot. So it's already in the works of, you know, he could go somewhere without LaMelo, but he wants to be with LaMelo.
Makes a lot of sense. I mean, that's another thing too. LeVar will tell you, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think he feels that Jello is just the best basketball player of the 3. And you're talking about just skills. He's definitely the best shooter.
One.
But when he talked about it, when they were on that high school team, the leading scorer on that team was Jello. It wasn't Lonzo, it wasn't LaMelo. Like, and I think that obviously that middle child, he's getting overlooked. I think he got overlooked because of he didn't have the athleticism that Lonzo had. He didn't have the playmaking that LaMelo had. So I think he kind of got looked because remember what, like we talk about, you don't have the flash. They don't appreciate your game as much. So, I mean, I can't wait to see him get his chance because I think with the right team, when you can shoot the ball the way he can, it's got to have some value. Some team can find some value in it, but you just got to find the right play for him. It might not be with playing with LaMelo. I don't know if that'll happen, but just to get him in the league, I think they would love to see him in the league, period.
Yeah. I mean, Lonzo and Jello, they're like extreme differences. One is a major scorer, and then one is a major passer. Of course, you got LaMelo, who's in the middle. He's got the mix of both. That's why he's okay anywhere. But the main reason that LeVar, when he built them that way, basically trained them that way, he doesn't think that Jello's the best player, but Jello is the best scorer. And so he's like, Lonzo literally needs somebody who can go out and get 35 points a night. He needs that pressure off of him. He needs somebody to pass to that can do that. You know, and hopefully Zion this year can be that for him. But that's what Lonzo needs. He's accustomed to always playing with Big G3. When you play with somebody who's averaging 30 points, you know, dropping crazy games, who can just shoot from anywhere, you grow accustomed to that. Ain't nobody looking at you like, why you passing so much? I'm passing because the man is straight up getting buckets.
Oh, we got Young Elder in the super chat, man. He got a question for y'all. Timberwolves work because Russell is a scorer. Naturally, not a PG. LaMelo will be feeding Russell and Towns all day. Do y'all agree or disagree with that?
I don't trust the Timberwolves, man. As simple as that.
I low-key disagree with that. I low-key disagree with one of the things he said.
Go ahead, DKM. Hold on. Go ahead, DKM. Elaborate on that then.
I think D'Angelo Russell, one of the biggest misconceptions about him is that he's just a scorer. I think coming into the league, his biggest strength was his passing. When you see him in college, you don't lose that ability to make the passes and plays he did in college. So I think while he might have been reluctant, while he might have wanted to prove himself as a scorer coming into the NBA, that passing gift, he still has that. And I don't know if D'Angelo Russell's the most mature. People saying LaMelo isn't the most mature. Do you really want to have a backcourt with two guys like that? I don't know if it works. Obviously, LaMelo can play with Towns. That's bread and butter, but I'm not too sure about the fit with them two together. I'm not saying it won't work. I'm not saying it will work. I'm saying I'd be skeptical if I was Minnesota.
Yeah, I don't like that fit personally because I feel like D'Angelo Russell, he needs the ball in his hands to be the most effective possible. I don't think he'll be that effective if he's a shooting guard and he's off the ball. I don't think that's good for D'Angelo Russell.
Hold on, I got some Lamar. I don't agree with that fit because you have Karl Anthony Towns, who's a liability on defense, and then you got D'Angelo Russell, another liability on defense. Then you throw in LaMelo Ball, and also they have Malik Beasley at the 2 guard, right? Who's coming off the bench, and then they are big on Jared Culver. So where's the minutes going to come from for LaMelo? So I don't think that's a great fit.
That's true.
I actually like it a little bit for 2 reasons. One is pretty shallow. I just like the Timberwolves uniforms, so I like that. I'd like to be able to cop a LaMelo Ball Minnesota joint with the blue and the green and all that stuff.
Those are smooth.
Yeah. So for that, I like it. But then also, man, I think that as these guys, like obviously D'Angelo Russell is still a young guy in the NBA, but I mean, he an all-star at this point. What you see, a lot of these dudes have to start evolving in their career. So I feel like he is at a point where it's an opportunity for him to like take the challenge to play a bit more off ball. And if they could run the pick and roll with Karl Anthony Towns and have another scorer like that to kick it to on the other side between him and LaMelo, I feel like it could be exciting basketball. But I think that they both seem so like young, and D'Lo seemed young enough where I believe him and LaMelo could build some chemistry where they could just like, you know what I mean, be doing pranks and stuff on each other, and like the locker room vibe would be great enough to where they might be able to win the game. Yeah, well, yeah, like that. We might get some diss tracks out of that. You know what I'm saying? That would be just entertaining.
Hold on, we got Kenneth Warren.
I don't think that they'll be like
No, go ahead, Ball Facts. You good?
Oh, okay. I don't think that they'll be like they're kind of like at the same stage. LaMelo's coming in as a superstar. D'Angelo Russell just turned the corner, so I think they will be fighting for position. Now, offensively, if these dudes got buddy, I think, and we're having fun together on the court, I think offensively it would be a show to watch. I don't think it's worth the defensive liability, but offensively, if they could actually get a relationship that was real cool, I think they would really get buckets on the offensive end if they could work together. But I don't think it's a good chance that they really will be that buddy because I think there'll be a little bitty, side looks at each other for competing for that number one spot.
Yeah. And you know what? I think that obviously, let's see, Minnesota at number one. The Warriors is going to be playoff contenders for sure. Damn, they're contending to win a title. And Charlotte at 3. I think between Charlotte and Minnesota, if you add Melo to Minnesota, you potentially have a playoff team. If you add Melo to Charlotte, like it's probably more of the same stuff. They got a little bit more work to do. I think Karl Anthony Towns is talented enough. D'Lo is talented enough that Melo could probably add more value to that situation to have some impact right away. And I think for his career personally, to be able to say you went to a squad that didn't make the playoffs and then you elevated them to the playoffs, like in your rookie season, would add kind of more to the mystique of him potentially being an all-star, potentially winning Rookie of the Year his first season. So for that, I feel like it's a better play for him, just career-wise.
AB though, but they'll say they do make it to the playoffs. Who they gonna give the credit for the first year taking them there, LaMelo or Russell? Because he just got there.
LaMelo.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. D'Angelo Russell is gonna go in his bag and not be trying to pass. What happened when the Lakers was getting the ball, brother? This man had to go. So he already got a bad taste in his mouth.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I feel like after the D'Angelo Russell and his situation with Swaggy P, and like he can't afford to have a bad taste or have any more negative publicity with his teammates. You know what I'm saying? So he's probably gonna be on there doing whatever, bro. I promise, I'm a good dude. Look, I'm not gonna take no pictures of you and your girl. You know what I mean? He's gonna go out his way.
I want to get to this question though.
The question that I had up here. We got Kenneth. I think it was Kenneth Warren in the chat. He kind of jumped out on a limb. Yeah,
on a very thin one.
Y'all see the question? LaMelo have a better career than Jordan and LeBron. Where do y'all? We gonna go one by one because I really want to hear everybody's individual take on this. Where do y'all see? Like if you compare his career to any particular player, where do you see him panning out to be in this career? We're gonna start with you, True the King.
Who I see he gonna be?
Is he gonna be a Jordan or LeBron? Let's start with that.
No. But that's okay. It's okay though. He can still be a Hall of Famer. Still be, LaMelo's a unique player. I'm trying to compare him to what type of play. Like a Jason Kidd type of, but like I don't know, maybe like that Jason Kidd type of realm.
All right. Hey, Iron Bite, what you got on it? How you think he's gonna pan out? Is he gonna be better than Mike or LeBron?
Hey, honestly, bro, I seen him being a better Lonzo Ball. I'm not gonna lie to you. He has the size, he has the better vision, but if he could improve his jump shot, then he could take it to another level. But right now, I see him just being like his brother.
Okay, I like that. Hey, AB the Hero, I know you got something on this. What you got?
Man, I believe that he has the potential to be in that realm, right? I think that it's harder for him at this point because LeBron, different than Jordan, LeBron came into the league with all of the hype, right? That LaMelo has, and he's been the only person to have that amount of hype and then like actually pan out into the greatness that it has. So for him to be in that would be even more difficult than it is for LeBron. Mm-hmm. But I think that the way the draft this year is set up if he can go 1 or 2 to Minnesota or Golden State, then I feel like at the end of his career, he'll be in that echelon. Because if he end up in Golden State and they contend and he in the playoffs right away, like it's going to add to his legacy, right? The statistics in the first couple of years probably won't be as great, but like the long term of them eventually being able to pass the torch to him will be dope for his legacy. And I think, like I said, I like some of those pieces that they have in Minnesota. If Karl Anthony Towns pan out to be some of what they say that he was supposed to be or could be, then like starting the league with the three-headed monster that like you see LeBron always chasing it. You see Golden State trying to get that. All of these folks always trying to get it. He could be starting his career out with that. So I think it leaves him an opportunity to do that. I do believe that he has the potential to like be in that conversation at the end of it. But like everything gotta like all the dominoes gotta fall perfectly and all of that stuff with social media and all of that stuff. He can't be getting D-Lo can't like be taking pictures of him and putting them on the internet. You know what I mean? Just little bitty stuff like that gotta work itself out.
Hey, for her vision, what you got on it?
Well, I think the potential is there to be a great. I ain't saying it's a lot of greats outside of Michael Jordan and LeBron. So I think he got potential to be a great. But I think if I was to line him up with a player that's currently in the NBA that he could possibly be, it'll be a Steph Curry type player. Wow. I think he'll probably have a legacy more so like a Steph Curry, a shooter, a dribbler, quick. But the up that he got on Steph Curry, if he get those shots to fall down better, the up he got on Steph Curry is he's 6'7", and he's doing it, and he's a lightweight 6'7" as well. So I think that he got the potential to be as a Steph Curry, but if he over exceed what we plan, I think I'll put him in the same categories with a Kevin Durant type player. So,
what you got, Jason Brown? I know what you got on this. You got to take yourself off mute, Jason.
Honestly, I see him as like a Steve Nash. That's just really his ceiling.
He got something to eat.
Because I miss Curry. I can't see Curry. I don't think he'll ever be a 27, 30-point per game scorer. That's not his strength. His strength, he'll be like a guy that averaged maybe 10, 9 assists for his career, 7, 8 rebounds. So I see like a Jason Kidd type of Steve Nash type of player, a real elite playmaker type of player.
I get you
as far as him being LeBron, being on Jordan LeBron, nah, he'll never be that elite. You got to be, to me, to be in that conversation, you got to be an elite defender. You know, LeBron and Michael Jordan was elite defenders. They was two-way players. You know, he'll never be elite. He'll be solid defensively. I can see him becoming solid defensively, but he'll never be an elite defender to put him in that conversation. So he'll be like a Steve Nash type of Jason Kidd type of player, but not with the Jason Kidd defense, but more the Steve Nash type of defense. He'll a good defender, not a good, but like a defender that's gonna give effort. Never be a good or elite defender. That's what I see him being.
DKM, what you got on it?
We got Jordan, we got LeBron, we got LaMelo. You lot are looking towards the end of their career. I'm going to look at it right now. We want to compare LaMelo at the same age to these guys. What had Michael Jordan accomplished in his career at the age of 18?
College.
19.
Nothing.
When did he get his NCAA ring? How old was he?
He was a junior. He was a junior. Right. So what I'm going to come on here and say is LaMelo is more proven and has accomplished more against better, more superior competition. He's more experienced than Michael Jordan and LeBron were at the same age.
What?
Jeez, that's tough.
Wait, how old is LaMelo?
That's facts.
LaMelo just
That's
turned
facts.
19. He's 19.
That's that. Hey, hold on.
Wasn't LeBron the best player in the nation at 18?
It don't matter,
That
though.
don't matter.
That's
He played.
Hold on. Let's make sure we get
live.
everybody. Let me hear from Bees. I mean, that was a big statement, DKM. Bees, what you got on it? What you think he can pan out to be?
I'm sort of like DKM, man. As long as LaMelo learns from LeBron and not try to be LeBron, but be LaMelo, he gonna be cool. If he can understand that his game is his game and play his game no matter what the criticism is, I think he's gonna be cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I
Hold on.
got.
Hold on. CA3's Sports Talk. What you got?
I really don't know what type of player. I really don't have like a true comparison for LaMelo Ball because like he's just such a unique player. He can do so many things. But like you guys say, he's like his brother and his other brother combined. He can score the ball and he's a great passer as well. I mean, I think he has all the tools to be a great player. Knowing that he didn't go to college and he actually went to play professional competition. That's a huge advantage going into the NBA. You see guys like Luka who you see that had the advantage by playing professional competition at a younger age. So I think he can be a great. I mean, I really don't know where he can be, but we'll see what he can be.
Ball facts. Let's hear what you got on it. Is it Jordan? Is he Jordan or LeBron?
Hey, y'all know how I feel about the Ball family. You know I'm all in. But listen, like, okay, now if we talking all three brothers together, when you combine them on a floor, then you got LeBron status, then you got Jordan status. What LeBron was doing in high school, you just couldn't stop him. But just LaMelo by himself, I'll say he'll be at the status of like an Allen Iverson. I don't think he'll be at the Jordan. So he will be flashy on the court. He's going to make a lot of highlights. He's going to be very popular. He's going to sell jerseys. I don't think he'll ever be like LeBron to be able to put the Cavs on his back and take them to the finals, stuff like that. But I'll never say that the man's going to get average 10 points in the league. That's just ridiculous. He's not Jello, but he's a scorer. So I say no to him being LeBron or Jordan. That's just, those are once in a generation type of players. And I disagree about LaMelo, where when LeBron and LaMelo were both 18, LeBron was a beast. You got to go back, look at them St. Mary games. But at the same time, LeVar's magic plan of putting them all on the court together on the court, you might as well have LeBron James on the court. And I'm serious about that. That's why he's trying to make that happen.
Wait,
I'm gonna tell you what I think. Here's my breakdown. I think he's not your typical 19-year-old coming in the league. He's not your average 19-year-old. He's far more aged and he's been through the grind a little bit more. Like, I mean, if y'all play with any semi-pro guys, then you understand that going and playing in Australia is a lot crazier than playing against Jackson State in D1 level or something like that. It's not the same. So I compare him to, I think starting off his career, I would compare him to a healthy Sean Livingston coming in. I think we forget how Sean Livingston kind of played with that flash, making plays, playing fast. That group with the Clippers before he got hurt, I think LaMelo could be a young Sean Livingston. I don't know how his career could end up, but if Sean Livingston never got hurt, he would definitely be a Hall of Famer. I don't know where he would be as far as where we put him in the top, 10 or 20 or anything like that. But I think he's definitely going to be a great player. He has got too many skills for it not to work out.
Lamont.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to follow up with what I was saying because a lot of people are in the chat saying I'm tripping. LeBron, so someone said, okay, LeBron was the number one player in the nation. Okay, right. He won a state championship or the national championship. Was it his senior or junior year? Well, LaMelo did that as a freshman. Okay, then you compare the competition they were playing at the same age. LeBron at 18, 19 was playing high school. Well, LaMelo was normal high school by his sophomore year. He'd been messing with pros since he was a teenager, before he hit puberty, right? I'm not saying LaMelo is a better player than LeBron was at that same age. LeBron physically imposing, he was a beast. I'm saying LaMelo is more experienced. He has faced better competition. He has more hype. He has more marketing. And in many ways, has done more at that level than LeBron James did. Pre-NBA career, LaMelo has as good a pre-NBA career as anyone not named Luka.
Hey, DM, I got a question though about that. You saying, but his team was stacked. He played with Big O. He played with Elijah Scott, his two brothers. I mean, Elijah Scott went to Loyola Marymount. That's Division I. Big O about to be in a lottery pick in the draft, and you got Lonzo and Jello. So
but he was also 13 at the time, 14. So
But his team
imagine
was stacked though. At the time they beat Oak Hill, I believe. They went up against RJ Barrett when he was at Montverde in Florida. So he had a stacked team. They was one of the top teams in the country, not just because of him, but because of the
But
team.
he wasn't a passenger, though. You got to remember that.
Yes.
He at that age, the fact that he's even starting, playing at that level, playing against lottery picks, the best players, not just any players older than him, the best players at 17, 18 years old. While you're 13 years old, that says a lot that he could even be out there and hold his own on both ends of the floor and contribute.
Hey, hold on. Hey, DKM, you saying he's playing against better competition, right? But is he looking impressive against that competition?
In the NBL, did you see him this past year? Rookie of the year in the NBL, youngest player to have a triple-double, scored the game winner in one of the games. He was lighting up the Australian Basketball League, and he was getting better and better until he had
Wait. Is that the
17
same?
points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists.
Is that the same league that he's shooting 30%, 20% from threes?
Yeah, but you gotta watch the games, bro. That's how I know you're just looking at Basketball Reference. You see the games, you see the way he was
looking at
playing,
stats.
the way he picked up.
And he actually shot 45% overall.
I mean, you can't just look at the stats, bro.
Bro.
Stats. I mean,
Hold
look at Luka's stats, bro, in the EuroLeague, bro.
Luka's stats were impressive. Luka was shooting 60% from two.
But look at his 3-point percentage, bro. Wasn't that impressive, bro?
Luka was never a good three-point shooter.
That's why I'm okay.
Let's
Nah,
let me
no percentages,
shooting
not misleading, bro.
three-point line. Players in college, Anthony Edwards is shooting 29% from the three-point line.
Exactly, man.
Nobody talks about that.
Nobody talk about it. Y'all gotta stop harping on LaMelo, like his percentage. You gotta look at why he's shooting that way. He takes bad shots. Now, if he stopped taking bad shots, he'll probably shoot more.
Okay, but we can't just dismiss that. You gotta hold him accountable.
But you make it seem like he can't shoot though. That's the thing too. You gotta dismiss that.
Okay, hey, but listen, you making excuses for shooting percentage by saying he's.
I'm not making excuses at all. No, he take back. He does take bad shots.
Okay, you hold a player accountable for taking bad shots. You can't.
Right. But here's the thing. He's still young. He still got. Listen, you go. Okay, when you go to the league, you get groomed. Right. You get developed. You start on bad habits you learn from the past. You change.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, but all I'm gonna say is that people in here comparing him, projecting him to have a Curry type career, that's outrageous right there, bro.
Man, I'm telling you this right now, Iron. Don't be surprised he'd be the best point guard in the game. Don't be surprised, man.
And
don't be surprised. He has the potential. He's marketable. If his play match up the hype, say goodbye, man. Listen, LaMelo ones, Pumas. Hey, you gonna listen?
It's gonna be crazy, and you got to think about who you were. He was taking his shooting percentage was not great, but it's like a not great shooting percentage in the NBL is different than having like Lonzo shot 40% from three in the NCAA. So folks expected him to get the NBA and shoot it lights out, and he struggled with that too. So there's a bit of growth that you get from having the ability to take those tough shots versus greater competition that will help him kind of make the adjustment in the NBA is what I believe. So it's the same thing as when you're 13 and you on a stacked team, you also have a better understanding of what it's like to play amongst a bunch of all-stars and a bunch of monsters and NBA players, to play against a bunch of NBA players from the age of 13, which also adds to his ability to kind of make the adjustment to go into the NBA as well. So he was on a stacked team. So this is why when I say I believe it really does not matter what team that he goes to, he'll make it work. Because if you go to a team like Golden State and they got Hall of Famers, he's played on a high school team with 3 top 10 draft picks. You know what I'm saying? Him, Lonzo, and the Big O. And then you take him you look at what he did in Illawarra, and he's on the worst team in the NBL at that time and won Rookie of the Year and had a pretty good outing. So I would have watched the dude travel with the JBA and play in Russia, you know what I mean, in 17 home away games straight and just pulling up, no scouting report, no nothing. We don't know who we playing, and I'm just gonna go get buckets and dominate. versus dudes who played college ball in the NCAA, played some of the NBA G League and all that, got bounced out, went overseas, and I watched him dominate dudes who walked into the gym with the ideal of, I am not going to let the little ball boy bust my ass tonight, and then he ended up busting everybody's ass. So
yeah, I feel where you're coming from, man. And I seen somebody put in the comments, man, when they was talking about matching LaMelo up with another player, with a Michael Jordan or something. I'm from Memphis, but somebody said he'll be a player like Penny Hardaway. That I want to see what y'all think about that, because Penny Hardaway was 6'6". He was proclaimed to be the next Michael Jordan if he didn't get hurt. I see similarities in probably dribbling and driving to the hole. But LaMelo got a 3-point shot that's halfway decent. Penny didn't necessarily have it because the 3-point shot wasn't that important. So how y'all think about that right there? Him matching him up with somebody like Penny Hardaway.
He's not the slasher that Penny was, man.
I've not seen that.
I can see it a little bit. The only thing I can see of that, I can see it a little bit because of the dribbling and the height, the size, but
I think he is. I think Penny's a good comparison. You got to think he's still we haven't seen him in one NBA game. We haven't seen him against NBA players. The same way we had doubts about Luka, if that would translate. Let's wait and see if what he does translates first, because you got to guard him still. You still got to guard him. And so that's what happened with Luka. They had to guard him, and he exposed a lot of people who thought he couldn't play. So, I mean, I think the same thing really happened.
Drug tested. If anyone understood what he did at that level at that age and thought he wasn't going to be anything but a superstar the minute he walked into the league, needs to educate themselves on overseas basketball, because he was as certain a Hall of Famer right out the gate as any player. Like, for me, Luka Doncic was better at 19 years old than LeBron was 18 years old, and no comparison.
Yeah.
He was literally a 2K My Career player when you play like the career mode and you win Rookie of the Year, you win Finals MVP, you win the championship all in your first season. Luka literally did that at the game's second highest level at 18 years old, and then he won something with his country as well. There'll never be another Luka Doncic.
That's facts, y'all. Hey, but what we're gonna do here is, man, I hate to end it, man, but we gotta end it soon, man. We had a crazy. I didn't expect the panel to turn out into this tonight. But we had DKM, we had AB, the hero, we had Ball Facts in here today, man. I appreciate you guys for coming over to FYF Sports, man. That's big time, man. You guys are welcome over here anytime you see us go live, especially if we cooking on the balls or any topic that you want to come chime in on. So you guys are welcome here anytime. We try to go live every day at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time if you can make it over. But, man, appreciate everybody else on the panel, man. Thank you guys for jumping in. True to King, Iron Bite, everybody in the chat, man. Appreciate everybody who donated. And again, man, like I say, we go live at 5. Quick, y'all be asking me in the comments. Y'all don't see the notifications. You got to hit the notification bell. We go live. We're going to try to go live every day, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But other than that, it was a great show. Anybody got anything else for us on the way out?
Hey, I'm going to say this. Hey, LaMelo better pan out to be what y'all saying. He better be a Curry type player. I'm holding everybody accountable.
Man, listen.
Nobody say gonna be a Curry type. I mean, like,
I knew everybody was gonna get a shot in before.
See, now I got something to say.
Hold on, we got cook him in 3 minutes. Cook him in 3 minutes, Ball Fact.
Everything that we love about LaMelo, his confidence on the court, his dribbling skill, his vision comes from LeVar letting him loose to shoot bad shots. Jermaine is actually going to curve off those things, but without that Chino Hills style of basketball at 13 years old, go out there and run them into the ground. Forget how many shots you take. Just make sure you get the W. He was never thinking about percentages, only W's. And that's why he plays with such style and grace and composure on the court. Now, do we need to fix those percentages? Yes, but he has Jermaine at his side to round those things off. So if you think that LaMelo Ball is going to get on the court and lose those instincts that LeVar gave him in Chino Hills in the backyard in that 35-0 season, he'll never lose those attributes. He's going to get on the court, still cross people, still do acrobatic jelly layups, still going to make amazing passes, and people are still going to buy the tickets, the jerseys to come see the kid play, even if he shoots 30% from the 3-point in that game, and he's still going to win.
So Lamar, can I take myself out real quick?
I ain't gonna hold you. Got cooked. That's 2 nights in a row, man.
Bro, I ain't trying to cook you. I ain't trying to cook you. You know what I'm saying? This ain't
that wasn't. I mean, Shooter King just capping right. That wasn't cooked. That's his opinion. All I'm gonna say is this. All I'm gonna say is this. I heard the same talk for Lonzo. I heard that same talk for Lonzo.
But here's the thing, though, Iron. Lonzo still can listen. Lonzo still got a lot of career left, man. It's off the Lonzo.
No. I'm saying people were projecting Lonzo to be a beast this first year. So I'm just saying I heard that same talk. So I'm gonna just sit back. I'm not wishing.
LaMelo,
Melo
I respect that. That's facts. I respect that.
LaMelo's on a whole different level to Lonzo was at this age.
Yeah, Melo.
That's true too.
I mean, if you compare LaMelo to Lonzo, bro, LaMelo has more skills, bro. He's a
better
much
right
basketball player.
But we got to respect what he said, though, because y'all can't cap. We thought Lonzo coming out of UCLA was going to be a beast. It is what it is.
I did too, though. I ain't gonna hold you. I thought this man the next Jason Kidd. I was like, this man.
And then the summer league too. What he did in the summer league, we was like, damn, this dude finna go crazy.
Hey, adjusting to the NBA is not easy, y'all. Sometimes it takes 4 years before it kicks in.
Yeah, and he was super hurt too. You know what I'm saying? He played the whole first 2 years.
DKM, did you have something for us before we got up out of here?
Yeah, I just wanted to say shout out to everyone in the chat being lit, being active. My guys came through today. AB the hero, ball facts.
Yes, sir.
Everyone up in here is great conversation. Now this little community thing you guys seem to have on where you come on here, you do your live streams. I much prefer hearing stuff like this, authentic stuff to like whatever they're pushing in the mainstream media. So everyone in the chat, you know what I'm saying, people who are active, ask questions, shout out to you guys. Hopefully I can come on here more with the guys and share some insight about sports. And yeah, on that note, it's DKM signing out. Till next time.
Sir. Appreciate it, man. Anytime, bro.
Peace.
All right, y'all. We up out of here. We're gonna be back tomorrow at 5, man. Y'all have a good one.
All right, salute.
All right,
catch y'all.
Salute.